I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What up, man? The real Coach JB. My main man, Big Smitty.
Are y'all ready for this?
Run like something to prove it. Came to a conclusion that it's Smitty and JB. JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side. Worldwide, we in your city. That sounds fine. Keep it 150. We never change what's happening. Hurdle and get
In any metric, coach, you cannot have Russell Wilson.
Nick gave me my first offer. Like, you got to have that store. You got to be marketable.
Hockey, football, baseball, then basketball.
Oh, I love this fucking show so much, man. Are you mixing light and dark at 11 a.m.?
I'm elated that I can be able to coach, that I can be able to mentor these kids, and give them everything that I've learned over the last 20 years.
Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.
Hello? Can you hear me? Derek. Man, God, I hate this dang phone line, man. I'm sorry, JB. I spent all this dang money on this phone line, and the signal was horrible. I don't get it.
Guess what? All right, appreciate you. We got a new deal with Mint Mobile. I just saved your whole life in phone drama. Mint Mobile is now a new proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
Stop playing.
Your problem's been solved.
We got a partnership with Mint Mobile? You talking about Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile? Stop playing right now. Hold on. Let me Google this real quick.
You can try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get 3 months free when you use the promo code CoachJB.
Hey, man, I just did a quick Google search real quick to make sure you wasn't playing around. They got plans as low as $15? They got plans for $30, unlimited everything. Speed, coverage, data, access to 5G, unlimited talk, text, mobile hotspots. You can talk in Mexico, talk in Canada, and they're built on the nation's largest 5G network. Are you kidding me, JB?
Hey, and everyone wants to know how hard it is to switch to your service. Big Wireless wants to think it's hard. They want you to think it's hard, Big Smitty, but switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. Mint Mobile does it all. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. That's why the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty is proud new sponsor using promo code CoachJB. Try mintmobile.com. This is where it's at. We got it, Big Smitty.
So, hey, I'm switching over to Mint Mobile right now, JB. I'm done with this company I'm working with. They crazy. The line, it never works. The signal is out, and it costs too much money. I'm going over to Mint Mobile, JB, and y'all should do the same.
Big Smitty, I'm calling you right now.
JB, Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile, clear as day. I hear you clear. The new promo code Coach JB right here, 3 months free. Mint Mobile, try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get you there free. 3 months off, family deals, all deals, short, fat, skinny, and tall. Mint does it all. Proud new sponsor. Much love. We'll see you later. Peace. Bitch ass little kids like you. What up, what up, what up? I'm in the building. It is Work Boot Wednesday. Strap on your hard hat and your work boots for this one because we got a loaded lineup today. And yes, single, the adjective means what? having the ability to do what you want, when you want, where you want. Unlike a lot of you casual fanboys out here who, what do you call it? I live rent free in your house, in your head. What do y'all say? Green Fire in the house. What up, D Gerardo? My main man Damian Gerardo's in the crib. Shout out to everybody, man. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. We on TikTok live. I love fucking with all the little bitch boys. And we got a lot going on in the building today. Brock Purdy, lucky Purdy. Purdy is lucky to be fighting with Lions this weekend. We're going to break that down. Don't miss it. We got a lot going on today. Doc Rivers, and a huge surprise, is now the head coach for the Milwaukee Bucks. What the fuck happened? How did the hell did that happen out of nowhere? Quarterback Rodgers exits the portal, and he decides to stay at UW. We're going to break that down. He was at Mississippi State, transferred to UW with DeBoer. DeBoer goes to Alabama. He says, I'm going to Alabama. Now he says, Alabama may be too good for me. I'm going to stay right here. Major League Hall of Fame class 2024. Beltre, Helton, Maurer, a lot of great players. We're going to break that down. A little MLB for the white folks and the Dominicans in the building. Diggs says he wants to stay a Buffalo Bill. Do you believe it? Cap or no cap, as y'all say. We're going to break that shit down. The Clippers beat the Lakers without LeBron. My boy Marcellus Wiley was sitting courtside, and, you know, he had to tweet it out all the time. And I'm like, come on, LeBron not even playing, and you're barely winning. But the Clippers will clipper at the end of the day. We're going to break that down. We're going to break down Mel Kiper's first-round mock draft. He's got 4 QBs landing in 4 spots. We're going to break that down, where they land. Are they the right fit for that team? We got former player Jennings says that Justin Fields should be a 49er if Brock Purdy can't win a Super Bowl this year. We're going to dive into that one. The Bucks and Riverboat Ron in talks to be the DC. Even though Bowles is already a DC, I think you need to bring in another offensive guy, but we're going to dive into that one. Pete Carroll back in discussions with the Chargers as Jim Harbaugh have kind of seized on player management discussions from what I've heard. Even though Jim Harbaugh has the most lucrative contract offer at Michigan, he also has one of the most lucrative contract offers by the Chargers in the NFL. I believe Harbaugh's still going to happen, but they are negotiating, and now Pete Carroll has wiggled back into the discussion. We're going to break that down. Raheem Mostert not happy about his Pro Bowl snub after a 22-plus touchdown season. And San Jose State finds their new coach, Ken Numaloto, good friend, former Navy head coach, been at UCLA as an analyst, and Chip just moved him up to coach the Qs, I believe. He has decided to leave UCLA and take over San Jose State. The Georgia Bulldog, in a disappointing topic, has the mascot has passed away. Legendary icon, the Bulldog, has passed away. My near and dear heart to dogs, man. That sucks right there. That was the dog of all dogs in college football. Sadly, has passed away. So Georgia just lost its most loyal fan. The Chiefs fans found listen to this. Some Chiefs fans found dead in the backyard of a party's host house. Have you heard this story? Well, we're going to break it down. My goodness gracious. The girlfriend came over to the house a day later, like, where's my boyfriend? And they're like, what? And they found him buried in the backyard. What kind of shit is that? Can't wait to talk to the Chief Queendom fans about that. Maybe Blake Borowitz buried him. I don't know. We're going to find that out. Raiders hiring Tom Telesco as GM. Another failed GM being hired in Vegas. Can't wait to break that down. Rex Ryan says the Bills should hire who? Is he listening to the Coach JB show? Oh, Bill Belichick, like someone on this show said. We're going to break all that down, plus so much more, right here on the Coach JB show with Big Smitty. But without further ado, let's get this thing going. Big Smitty, I said that? I didn't even remember saying that. My main man, the co-host extraordinaire, the Ball State legend, the LeBron hairline having, the Fox Sports doing, the AR-5 goggle wearing, the Lamar Jackson swinging, Far East Side, Post Road, Naptown, 317's very own. It wouldn't be the Coach AB show without my main man, Big Smitty. Clap it up for Big Smitty. What blood pressure medication am I taking? Smitty, you deaf. Smitty just be talking. He don't even have a mic on.
I had a great intro, y'all. Y'all missed it.
It's over now. Too late.
Can we do it again real quick? Take me out.
Y'all just take away. Don't disregard everything that happened. Smitty is not very technologically savvy. Just keep him. We're gonna start all over. Just start the whole show over. This is what I would do. Ask Alan, tell him what I'd do if motherfuckers fucked up in practice. Start the whole thing over, starting at stretch. We'll start over at stretch. That's what we're gonna do right now. Start all over. So we're gonna go. Purdy lucky to be fighting with Lions. Doc Rivers in a huge surprise. Now it goes. Quarterback Rogers, exit supporter, decides to stay at UW. Major League Hall of Fame 2024 class, Beltray held in Mauer. Dick stays the Bill. He wants to. Clippers beat Lakers. Marcellus Wiley tweeted it out. Blah, blah, blah. Mel Kiper's first round mock draft is here. Landing the four quarterbacks, 4 places. Jennings says Justin Fields should be a 49er if Purdy's can't win the Super Bowl. Bucks and the Riverboat Ron Rivera in talks to coach. Pete Carroll in discussions with the Chargers, even though Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers are very positive discussion. Raheem Mostert not happy about the Pro Bowl snub. San Jose State Kyers, Ken Mamalapa. Georgia Bulldog mascot dies, the most iconic dog in legend. Chiefs fan found dead in the backyard. Raiders hiring Tom Telesco as a GM. Another failed GM. Rex Ryan says the Bills should hire who? Just like JB said on the Coach AB show, Bill Belichick. Without further ado, we got the Ball State legend, LeBron hairline having, Far East Side, Post Road, 317, Fox Sports, AR-5 goggle wearing, Lamar Jackson swinging, co-host of the year. It wouldn't be the Coach AB show without Big Smitty. Clap it up.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear, y'all. What's going on, JB? What's going on, chat, man? We got the all-black shirt with the white language. You know I'm always representing my hood, man. Far East Side, 317, Post Road, Mid-Hartford, Arlington. I'm talking about German Church. I'm talking about the whole Far East Side and all we get down, man. 16th and Post Road, Dub C, Warrior Nation, turn up. What's going on, y'all? I'm lit today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's middle of the week.
That's what the fuck I started all over for?
Yeah, you like that energy? Look, the chat is turned up, right? Look at my boy Keith Smith. Back again, Big Smitty. He excited. Back again, Big Smitty.
I just exhausted myself and rewound and did all that shit for that. I thought you had some news or some breaking news or some shit. Goddamn, I didn't hear nothing you said.
Look. My albino brother, Hefe Rich. I love this show. That's my brother. Keep going. Look. Hold on. Yeah, East Side. Whoa. See, I didn't like that. That's negative energy right there. Show me your picture, Happy Days. This is the new rule on this show. You can't talk shit if you don't have your actual picture in your avatar. Like, I just can't even trust you. I don't know if you're real. You got
fans. Wild Man Steve said Smitty is the show.
Now, that's my guy. Things have changed.
Man Steve is probably the closest thing to a serial killer on the show's fan base.
you need a few of them in your circle. You need a couple of them, them wild ones, just in case some shit take off.
Woo, we got a lot of little bitch boys. What did I say? I didn't know what I said. You said I said something.
Yeah, you said. I saw somebody said something that you said the other day. It was kind of confusing. Like, do we have that clip again? Is it possible we could play that? I think Rex Ryan has said something, JB, that sounded very similar to what you had said about a team and who they should hire.
I said to Greeny, I go, watch this be where Belichick ends up. And meaning that, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if you think like ownership, all right, they fired me, I was 500, they fired me because they didn't think we can go any further. Well, I'm saying if ownership sits back and goes, you know what, this guy's done a great job as a coach, but is he the right guy to get us to the next level? Whoa. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm just throwing it out there. He threw it out there.
The Coach JB show, and then they were like, oh, "It's a good idea. Let me throw it out there," because it seems like everything come out after we say it. I'm just throwing it out. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe you're not. Maybe Rex is watching the show, or maybe you and Rex are the same fucking person. You and Rex are similar. I will say that. Y'all are some. If I compare you to any coach at all that comes to mind, he's definitely fucking right there on that list. Just personality, energy, how he do. That's how you laughing, because you know y'all similar. I'm not saying y'all the same person, but y'all have a lot of similarities. So it could just be, you know what I mean? Great minds think alike. You know, I don't know. JB, before we get to the show, how was your night? Did you have a good night? Like how was your, when we left the show, we don't talk. We don't really, like, I know you got people working in your backyard 24 hours for, like, you know, 5 cents a fucking hour. You got all type of shit going on, man. You got AEs running around the house, butt ass naked.
I'm putting some new turf in around my rocks. All my pavers, I got these square walking pavers in the back, and I got these river rock. And when it rains real hard, this river rock and the dirt and all this shit goes down my drain. So I decided today I'm ripping all that out. And yesterday I planted a bunch of new flowers and plants because I've been working on the hill. And I walked up the stairs last night to get a little sunset view with the dogs.
Okay, that sounds good.
There's a nice. And then, so I put some fake rocks over my plumbing up on the hill that I just redid. So I got the fake rocks looking. I put some lights up there so it flashes, it shines on the big rock.
Oh, that's
so
fine.
Nice. And down on the bottom, you can see the lights on the big rock. You know, I'm an interior designer, Smitty, and an exterior designer. I do it all, landscaper.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put some turf around my rocks to clean up all the dirt and shit when it rains, and then the dogs got a little more area to run. And then I think around in May or June, I'm gonna get a pool.
Oh man!
For the summer, so the summer parties. I also want to I was gonna call you and let you know this, but I said, fuck it, I'll just tell everybody. I think around May or June is the target date that I think I'm going to be able to make something happen, that we're going to get a studio.
Oh, don't say that. Don't tease now. Don't tease. Don't say that.
I think we got to do this in person, because I think it's, you know, we got to do it in person. So it takes the next step, next level. That'll be close to getting summer, into spring, right before the season. We're getting right into live. And I think that's what I think I'm close to making a move to get the studio. Where we get it is going to be the thing in between us until we can get you out of where you are and we make money. So we'll put it somewhere halfway somewhere. So that just means we got to leave. You know, I'm about to leave my house about 4:30, get there at 5. You got to leave at 5. We get up, knock it out 3 hours, and bounce. You go back. I come home. So,
yeah, we got to. Gotta make it happen.
I get some stands. We bring live people in. I don't know who's gonna come at 6 a.m. in the West Coast, but we'll find. Maybe we'll figure out when we do certain things. We're gonna figure it out.
We gonna figure it out, because we gotta make it happen. The in person is gonna be next level, so we're gonna figure it out. And I think we should also talk to the chat about it too once we get more detail and kind of see what they like, what they would like. What are some things that they would want added for the live people who live in LA. Would they want to pull up? Does it make sense to do it another time? Just ask everything and just kind of see, because our fans are, without our fans, JB, like what is the show without the fans, JB?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out what time we do it, when we do it. We gotta figure that out.
Yeah,
maybe we do we pre-record ones later in the afternoon with live fans or something.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's so many different ways we could do it. It all depends on what our fan base, our loyal soldiers. Yeah. What they like.
I didn't know I had a broke down kitchen.
Ooh, see my boy, hey, Steve he on my side right now, so I can't defend you on this, JB. You got to handle that yourself, because he showing love to me.
I thought my kitchen was attractive.
I think he's talking about I think on the show you might have talked about how you wanted to make your kitchen bigger. So
no. See that you be saving these cats, Smitty. He said, Coach, when are you going to fix that broke down kitchen you got? Don't save these motherfuckers and put words out there, man. That's what he said. Let's keep it real. That's what we do. We do this shit. People be saying shit and people act like it. And then when you go at them, then they say, oh, it was just a question. That's not a question, you fucking illiterate. You made a statement. You called my kitchen broke down like your broke down mountain looking ass. And that is what you said. So Smitty trying to save your ass. No, motherfucker. Come over here. Your girl was here in AE last night on my kitchen counter, bitch. So let's get down. Let's go.
Shout out to Lan Lou for the $10 donation, man. We appreciate you, man. We about $1,700 still in the hole for missing that whole week a couple weeks ago when YouTube did us dirty, man. So we need probably about 200 more of those payments right there, and we'll be ready to go. Go ahead, JB.
I'm sharing my desktop. My main man Chad is hooking up some new video for us because we're going to break down all scenarios today. Since me and you are solo, we got Matt coming on, but after that it's solo. We are going to break down the possibilities of both teams playing each other. So the Chiefs playing the Lions again, which I have film of from week 1. And then the Niners playing the Ravens, which I have film of. And so we could show that. And then the Lions-Ravens, because they played this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have that. We're going to get that going. So let me send this over here real quick. Bow for 2 seconds. Bow.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, so what's up with that broke down kitchen you got? And then you go at a motherfucker and be like, I just asked a question. I was trying to make it better. Shut your soft asses up. You motherfuckers so fucking soft. You can say what you want and get away with it on social media. Purdy, lucky to be fighting with lions. Joel's most fire traffic I've ever seen.
Best ever, Joel. Like, clap it up for Joel. What the fuck?
Joel's clap it up.
Best ever, Joel.
Yeah, that was fire. I think he is lucky. We're going to break that down, too. I think he is lucky, by the way. I think he's very lucky, but we're going to break that down. Let's get to the quote of the day, first of all, though. And all these things brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Got NBA, hockey, Major League Baseball. Spring training is going to start next month. You got all these things in the works. And then, of course, you got the Final Four in the NFL playoff plus Super Bowl coming up. BetOnline where the game starts. Quote of the day. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. That's why we got to get in the studio, revitalize Big Smitty so he's not so lackadaisical when he comes in. We got to get the energy up. He's not energetic enough. So we get in the studio, boom, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we bring Ash to the studio. Have Ash on there. Ash fuck the whole show up.
Fuck the whole show. Ash all over me the whole entire show.
The whole way, Smitty, because he like black people.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Tell everybody how Ash is not racist like the show.
I think Ash is like actually like if we really like had a way to test the race of a dog. I think Ash is like a brother because like a black woman walk in, I'll walk in, a brother, motherfucker gets so excited.
What about when a white person walks in?
Like ready to eat a motherfucker, like you told like like you just you ready to eat him when you do that. I don't know what it is, bro. So. You train them that way to be racist, reverse racism against white people. JB don't like white people now, y'all. I don't know. He only like black. You know what? All JB's friends, I just thought about it, are black or black, Hispanic, or like I don't want to say it like
what about this guy?
Oh, shoot me see. I also like black people. This motherfucker's crazy. But no, JB has no white friends. Like they're all like
Jerry, you know Jerry Ports. You met Jerry. Jerry White.
Is Jerry white though? You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jerry got something.
He's making it known too.
Oh, see, okay. I guess Jerry White. I thought Jerry had a little something in him though. You know what I mean?
He just from the hood.
Okay, from the hood. Okay. Well, you got like one white friend, 2 max. Every time I come over, it's like
Jerry and Dave, Ports brothers.
Hella brothers. You got hella brothers, Mexicans, Polynesians. You got everybody else. You got fucking Korean Cosell. You got every other race in that motherfucker. You got 1 or 2 white friends. I ain't never seen it.
Brian said, Big Dave White. E-Dub. We got E-Dub.
E-Dub, yeah, E-Dub white. It's white, man. I give you that.
But he been around brothers whole life.
Yeah, even E-Dub said most of his friends are my people. Like, I don't know.
Matt, the same way. Matt, he played football. He plays sport. You play in the league. You're gonna be around brothers. So
a lot of us. But I mean, we cool as fuck too, though, man. I think the narrative is wrong, man. When black people, we cool, man. We listen to music. We chilling. We funny. We just be look, make motherfuckers laugh. We cool, man. Look, Far East Side, we in the building.
I don't even know what the quote of the day was. I gave it up.
Man, we turning up right now.
The only way, Big Smitty, to do great work is to love what you do. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Use the promo code Coach JB. And make sure you get over to Mint Mobile and get you some phones. We got to get some money. We broke. We need a studio. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. Contrary to belief.
That's wisdom, though. That's wisdom.
It just means, yeah, you should have a moment of silence after that drop. Contrary to belief, life is a mystery to be lived, Big Smitty, not a problem to be solved. I be dropping gems, especially for all the little boys and on TikTok. God damn, they never heard some shit. They're just sitting there like, Mama, I don't want to go to school today. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto and jacking off all day. God, our generation, the youth, what we call it, youth, is fucked. Anyway, Brock Purdy to be fighting with Lions. That's the thumbnail. We got to discuss it, but before we discuss it, dog, I got to get into some shit real quick with you. I got a little beef going with our friend.
What?
Jason Whitlock.
Ah, damn. What'd he do?
My good friend Jason Whitlock is the topic of my morning rant today. I'll probably be on his show later on. Jason Whitlock says the Ravens could be one of the best teams we've ever seen if they go on to win it. I gotta now let me say pause for that. He said they beat the Niners by 14. The remaining team on the NFC side, the Niners and the Lions, who they beat by 32. They beat Miami by 37. They beat the Seahawks 37-3. They beat the Browns 28-3, but they also lost to the Browns. And then they lost to the Steelers twice with no quarterback.
the last time the starters didn't play, by the way.
Yeah, I get it.
Context.
I get it. But even with the starters, they had no quarterback. So I'm trying to figure out how this team is one of the greatest ever. Now, let me just dive into this morning rant with Smitty because I know he's going to debate me and, he can't take the goggles off long enough for Lamar to throw a hitch ball. But here's the issue I have. What if I just said the NFL is maybe the most watered down we've ever seen, and this team just seems to stand out above the rest? Like, McChesney, don't tell me that it doesn't hold water, because I believe that argument holds complete water. And I would argue that what quarterback did he beat that is really worthy of either A, MVP status, B, Hall of Fame status, C, Pro Bowl status? What quarterback? Tua? We already know what the Miami Dolphins deal is. Come on, man. Geno Smith? He didn't play. The Browns are in the middle of transferring and trading out 3 different QBs, going to 41-year-old Flacco? Or the small-handed, fake sliding Kenny Pickett? Is that who we're saying is the best team ever? No, Sonny, go ahead, dog. I love it, man. I really do.
So just for my understanding, He didn't beat C.J. Stroud, who you had as your MVP front runner or a large part of the
team
season.
that won three games, a rookie. So you're going to hang
C.J. Stroud went on 3.
Wait up, you're holding your head and hanging it, beating a rookie.
I'm just asking you a question.
As a big-time, number one all-time team?
I'm just asking you a question real quick. That's all I'm saying. A lot of teams lost against that rookie.
I said an upstart team that won 3 games last year.
Well, CJ, that don't matter. The 3 games don't matter. All right, I hear what you're saying. But again, you said Whitlock said if they win it all, which would mean that he would also beat Patrick Mahomes, who is the best quarterback in the NFL, who people believe is a Hall of Famer right now based upon his accolades, who also won the Super Bowl last year. So again, Whitlock said if they win it all, which means
they squawked. I don't know what the word would be. They didn't. You can't say squeaked by. I don't believe squeaked is a word, is it? And it's not squawked by.
Let me see.
But they beat Stafford and the Rams on a block in the back in overtime, and we already know that game they should have lost that game. So if they won, if you're thinking that Ram team is the same as the Super Bowl winning Eric Weddle team, you're crazy.
No, but you play and beat who's on your schedule. He also demolished the 49ers, and you can say what you want about Brock Purdy himself. Sure, that's cool. I'm not super high on him, but that team, every single body else, dog. And he did, and they beat their ass. So again, if they win it all,
underachieving 49er team with a coach that is yet to win anything, that I still say should be fired if they don't win.
You have an excuse though and I'm not even saying, when I say excuse, I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm not even saying like excuse like
no, you're saying like what Tank said. I'm moving the thing around and finding a reason.
Yeah, because I can find a reason for, like, if we go back to like 05, if I go back to when the coach went in 07, I'm sure I can find some reasons for everybody they beat. If we really want to nitpick and do all that, you can always find a reason. So-and-so was hurt, or so-and-so didn't, but Peyton Manning didn't even play well against the Ravens. Adam Vinatieri made 5 field goals to beat the Baltimore Ravens in the playoff game. Peyton Manning didn't play well. He don't deserve it. Like, there's always stuff I can reach at and be like, at the end of the day, all we care about is wins and losses. And
I know what we can't reach at, though.
What is that?
Facts. Proof.
What facts you got?
Receipts.
What proof you got? What receipts you got?
Data.
What data you got?
It's a great segue because I want you to make it make sense, which is our next subject. And I'm just so glad you brought this up, that Tank and you said I move things and make excuses as to why and all this. I want to know why. Can't wait for Tank next week. I want to know why. For the last 7 years, my excuses have held water. Me making up things to fit my narrative have held water. Why is that? Why has Lamar for 7 years done nothing, but now he's on the precipice of going to a Super Bowl, and I'm all of a sudden wrong? I want to know, dog. I just want to be clear here. I think y'all get sensitive and you're getting your feelings about black quarterback versus white quarterback and this guy and that guy. Let's keep it real. This dude is 2-3 in the playoffs. I have been 1,000% correct on all my breakdowns about him for the last 7 years. And now he is on the precipice of going to a Super Bowl. It's fresh on everybody's mind, and now he's the GOAT. And I've been wrong for 7 years all of a sudden. I'm just curious, homie, how that works in everyone's life. I'm curious how this works. How has Shanahan not won shit, choked off leads, but when I say he's a bust for the last 7 years, now that he's back in the NFC title game, I'm wrong. Wait up, dog.
You've been wrong with Shanahan. But
how have I been wrong? Tell me how that's facts, Big Smitty. What has he done? Please name me one thing Shanahan's won.
I think you're wrong because let me rephrase it. We look at what you've accomplished differently.
I've been wrong.
Let me self-correct. I think me and you look at things differently. So, for example, you say Shanahan hasn't done anything. I think that's false. I think getting to a Super Bowl, getting to multiple NFC championships, always being in contention every single year is extremely hard to do in the NFL. And Kyle Shanahan led teams are always in the mix to potentially win a Super Bowl. Has he won it yet? No, he hasn't. But you're talking as if getting there is just easy thing to do. You are one of the last 2 teams remaining multiple times. You are one of the last 4 teams remaining multiple times. that is still an accomplishment. I don't feel like, and I don't know, maybe I was younger, so maybe Andy Reid was getting this type of energy, but I don't feel like Andy Reid was getting this type of energy when he was coaching the Philadelphia Eagles with Donovan McNabb, and he went to, was it 4 NFC championships, went to the Super Bowl and lost. Again, maybe he was. I can't speak on it. I just don't feel like it was the exact, maybe because of social media and we got sports TV shows now, so it's more just like in your face.
Trust me.
In your face. All right, cool.
They tried to fire him, Big Smitty, just like the Peterson, just like all these guys. They wanted him out.
But it's crazy how now we look at Andy Reid and motherfuckers call him the GOAT now. So it just, I guess for me, it's just like, are we going to always just destroy coaches and destroy players along the journey every single year that they don't win? You bring Lamar Jackson. For 7 years, I've been right. Okay, you can say that, I guess. Like, cool, that sounds good. If you lean towards the field in all your arguments, you're always gonna win, because winning Super Bowls isn't some shit you just do all the time. What Tom Brady did is an anomaly. Most people don't win any Super Bowls their entire career. If they do get one, it's one. Aaron Rodgers, all-time great Hall of Famer, one of the best ball spinners we've ever seen in our lives, has one ring. If somebody would have asked me or asked you back in like fucking 2010 or 2011, whatever, the year after they won, if Aaron Rodgers would only go to one Super Bowl and only have one ring, we'd be like, man, you sound crazy. But shit happens, though. So my point is, when you say I've been right on Lamar for 7 years, define being right. Are you right because he didn't go to a Super Bowl yet? Because he didn't win a Super Bowl yet? There's so many factors that goes into winning a Super Bowl, even getting there. He's not going to go to his fucking rookie season. Like, let's be real. Like, that's not fair to say that. He just got help finally offensively. Look at you say the facts. Look at the facts. His offensive roster has been fucking horrible, whether due to injuries, whether due to not having any weapons at all. As soon as you bring this man some weapons, as soon as you bring this man a different type of offensive scheme, the man is in position to go to the Super Bowl. You're right mechanically. I don't think his mechanics will ever be to your standard, Jay, because that's just not how he plays.
I'm not tripping. I don't care.
So let's stop talking. Well, I'm gonna ask you: Are we able to like kind of put that to the side then? Only because it's like if I, for example, I know when
clear though,
I know JB will come on the show and start cussing motherfuckers out.
Say it again.
I'm saying last thing. For me, I know coming on this show, I know JB gonna cuss somebody out. I'm no longer going to talk to you before the show after somebody, hey, JB, I don't think we really cuss people out. No, that's who you are. That's you're gonna do that. If somebody in the chat say something crazy, you're gonna cuss them out. My point is, we know Lamar's mechanics is different. It's all over the place. But at the end of the day, if it leads to wins, I don't really care. But you seem to care how they win. I just care that they win. That's the difference between me and you. He's the second most winningest quarterback since he's been in the league behind Mahomes. So when you say he hasn't done nothing, it literally doesn't make sense to my brain.
I'm confused as to when this whole he never had weapons thing. Like, I love that narrative, dog. Like, I love that he's never had weapons. Like, you kidding me with this narrative? He's never had weapons. Number one, yes, he has had weapons. They've left him. Number two, let me be clear here. So when Mahomes wins, he's the GOAT. He's in a conversation for being the GOAT. When I've broke him down and said, I think he's very overrated. I think he plays in a gimmicky system devised for his success. I didn't say he wasn't a freak. I didn't say he didn't have a great arm and cannon and throw off platform and do all these things. And a winner, called him a winner. But that doesn't mean. So time out. Mahomes is okay to do it for. But when Shanahan doesn't get it done, and I call him out, I'm wrong. He's really the GOAT. Like, which one is it, dog? Is Mahomes the GOAT for winning, or is Shanahan the GOAT for losing? Because I'm wrong either way, it seems. So you say I moved the shit around. Shanahan has done nothing, but you say I'm wrong. And then Mahomes, we both know if he did not win these 2 Super Bowls, let's keep it funky, he would be what? A nobody. Absolute nothing, and he would fit into the breakdowns that I show on film. Bubble screen, shovel pass, all the schematically gimmicks that I've broke down, they'd be calling JB, well, JB's been right the whole time. How am I wrong on Shanahan, but right with Mahomes? Or how am I wrong with Mahomes and right with Shanahan? I can't win. Y'all talk about me moving it around. You guys literally moving it around right now. Like, how in the fuck, how is it possible for me to come out here and talk about people moving it around? all I've called out Lamar about being is what? Not the GOAT. When people talk about he's the guy, he can't be the guy, Smitty. If you just said his mechanics will never be that good. His accuracy will never be that good. He'll never be that guy. Can we just move past that? We can move past it. Hold on. We can move past it, and he can win. But don't say to JB that I have to say, yes, sir, he's the greatest ever. No, he's not. That's what I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to just say that he's not the guy like that. That's all I'm saying.
But my serious, like, who is calling Lamar the GOAT? He's not even the best player in the league right now. We're not even calling him top.
Right now, y'all are saying he is the best guy. He's the MVP.
Yeah, he's the most valuable player. He's the most valuable player. He's the most valuable player this year.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, y'all are calling him this guy, and I'm saying he's not that guy. I think the team is great without him. I think this team wins without him. Their defense is fucking unbelievable.
But we've seen the Ravens
team all time.
Okay, cool. We're doing multiple conversations right now. We're doing top team all time. We're doing is Lamar the guy, the MVP? Is he the GOAT? No, there's a lot of conversations we're doing. So
it's all part of this whole discussion, though.
This Ravens team would not be nearly as great without Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. Like we've seen games when he's not played over the years, and they won a couple, sure, but they're not the same at all. It looked totally different. The way the offense moves, the way the team moves and flows. If you literally watch the games straight from beginning to end, again, stats don't always tell the full story and full picture for Lamar Jackson. You watch the game, you're seeing how the fucking offense is moving and how the defense has to react because of their fear of Lamar Jackson taking off or throwing a bomb over their head. They don't know what he's going to do. And that fear and that confusion throws off defenses, and that's what adds to Lamar's greatness. Again, I said mechanics, meaning that how he holds the ball, his release point, his drop back, all that is unique. I think was it Matt or somebody compared him to like Steph Curry. When Steph Curry first started doing what he was doing, it looked crazy. It was like, what are you doing? You're shooting from half court. Your form is all out. But it led to win, and we adjusted to it. We got some film right here, y'all. Like me, I love that. But you see that as it's like I love like if you're able to run and you're fast and that's part of your God-given ability, I'm of the belief that you should use your God-given ability. I'm not saying he couldn't have thrown it. I'm not saying he could have thrown it under or whatever, but he ran it and got to the fucking 4-yard line. I'm pretty sure they scored after this.
All I'm saying is,
like, why am I mad about that? Is what I'm saying.
You don't have to be mad. I'm just telling you, listen, if a guy's going to be discussed as one of the greatest, he's got to make these throws. This is what Super Bowl winning quarterbacks do. All I've been saying for 7 years is he hasn't won a Super Bowl. It's exhausting on why I'm defending myself. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's a horrible player. I'm not saying we know he's a freak. We know he's a good kid. I'm not saying any of that. Have I attacked his character ever?
Not once. But when you say phrases like he hasn't done anything, that's bold to say that.
For 7 years, he was 1-3. What do you mean? What? So I'm gonna lie? I'm gonna say, all right, Lamar has done everything. He's not 1-3.
No. So just for clarity, for real. So if you ain't won a Super Bowl, at that point you ain't done shit. So Joe Burrow ain't done shit. Josh Allen ain't done shit. So let me ask you, and maybe so. Peyton Manning's first 8 years, you feel like he didn't do shit. He wasn't shit. He didn't do nothing.
We call Peyton Manning. I call Peyton Manning receipts, and we've called Peyton Manning in every media outlet lacking the it factor. Couldn't get over the hump. Did we not?
Okay.
Did Peyton Manning not get castrated?
That's different. That's different, though. Saying lacking the
different.
Hold on. Saying lacking the it factor is not the same energy. Say this motherfucker ain't done shit. Come on, bro. Come on.
It's the same shit. I didn't say this. I didn't say he hasn't done shit. We already had his stats. What do you mean? Manning had stats. I said he couldn't win the big one. He was the same guy to me as Lamar Jackson is. Can't win the big one. I didn't say they're not great, Smitty. See, y'all put words in my mouth. I never said Lamar's not great. I
didn't say that either. You said, but no.
All I'm saying is they can't win it.
Okay, cool then. Let's if you say that, I'm not even really mad at you. But maybe I'm big on words and specifics. When you say Lamar Jackson hasn't done shit yet, what you have said, I'm telling you, tell me, chat, am I tripping? You have said Lamar Jackson hasn't done shit yet. In the first 7 years, you saying you have been correct. When you say he hasn't done shit, boom, that phrase alone, I can't agree with that because I look at everything he has done. Going 14-2, making it to the playoffs multiple times, winning a playoff game, winning an MVP, being like, so like, I just can't look at them like he ain't done shit. Like that to me is somebody who's just a shitty quarterback. Like
it blows my mind. It's the same discussion we talked about with Peyton Manning when I was watching him without Twitter. Like, let's be honest. I had the same discussions. He's a bust. He can't beat Tom. He can't win. Can't get out of the AFC title game. Can't win a Super Bowl. It's no different than what I've said about Lamar. It's no different than what I've said about guys that have won Super Bowls who haven't been the guy, in my opinion. Like, people want to bring up all this Mahomes shit as the GOAT. I'm like, the GOAT already? And we already talk about the whole anointing thing with Patrick Mahomes. At the bottom line is, if we break down those Super Bowls, we know he's had the most underperforming Super Bowls in Super Bowl history by a winning quarterback. That's fact. Look it up. That's fact. 181 yards, another subpar 200-yard game, more interceptions than any winning quarterback to ever play in Super Bowls that have won. You can't tell me there's not a lot of factors involved in that if it's not just the quarterback having those stats. Come on now. So, having said that, he still wins. What do I say on the show? He's number one because he's won. I say it on the show. He's number one because he's won. But I still say he's saved by gimmicky offense. He's saved by scheme. I've said it forever, but I'm wrong. I'm the fucking asshole. I'm racist, blah, blah, blah. Josh Allen gets the same energy from me. So does Herbert. Go back and listen, you fucking idiots. Smitty, let's move on. We got a lot going on. But we could break that. We could talk about this forever and ever.
Really
bottom line is Lamar is just not going to be the GOAT conversation or anything to me. Let's just leave it at that. Now he has to win Super Bowl. But listen to this.
I ain't even saying that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, but here's what I want to end it with. And you can end it. I'll let you have the ending. But I'm saying for 7 years, I've said X, Y, and Z about all these guys. If they win it, like Mahomes has won it, I've come out and said he's number one. He's won it. Over Burrow, over Allen, over Herbert, who I think are better throwers or passers of the football, who I think have a bigger upside, but can't beat Mahomes. So I have Mahomes at 1.
Right.
The same thing, dog. I've always been the same person about Mahomes, but he's won it. So guess what? I come out and say, guess what? He's won it. He's number 1, blah, blah, blah. What's changed here? If Lamar wins it, then kudos to Lamar, but that doesn't change 7 years of my facts that I've been pushing. Like, how does that change? Because they won finally? That's what I don't get. That's social media for you in a nutshell. Who said I wasn't going to come out, though, Smitty, and say, hey, dog, congratulations, Lamar, you got that shit done. Good shit. Who said I'm not going to say that? You all act like I'm going to come in and say, Lamar, you got lucky as a motherfucker. You shitty. Like,
I'm not gonna say you go call him shitty, but I'm gonna be real. I would not be surprised if you
man enough to come in and say that Mahomes is number 1.
For sure.
So why would I not do it with fucking Lamar, who I like better?
No, I think you would say it. I just feel like depending how I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be some buts and some asterisks and some he the best. He number 1. He won, but.
We've already had that.
This the shittiest league.
I mean, this is the whole Whitlock thing right now about them being the best team. We're talking about that right now. They're not even close to a fucking best team. We're already saying that. I'm saying it. So I've already said those things. I've already pushed that narrative. We know that I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a freak athlete that plays quarterback. So we already have said all that. We already know he has a great top 5 defense. But if he wins it, I'm going to come out and say he got over the hump. He won it. Guess what he did that someone else couldn't do? Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Herbert. He has done something that they haven't done. He still has to get through Mahomes, who's 1-2. He still has to get through whoever in the NFC who are probably playing better than they were when they played them. And you know the Super Bowl is going to be a little differently reffed, etc. So I doubt it would be a 37-3 game.
Right.
But It is what it is. We will see. That's all we could do at this point. I mean,
yeah, we just talking right now. I mean, look, Lamar and them can definitely, like, if the Ravens lost against the Chiefs this weekend, would I be just shocked? Hell no, it's the Chiefs. It's Andy Reid and Mahomes. They won last year. I wouldn't be shocked, and they're looking a lot better now than they did in the season. Kelsey's looking better. Mahomes is looking, the receivers are catching the ball, so I wouldn't be shocked if they lost. You know what I'm saying? But in the event that they actually do win, yeah, I just think we gotta, I don't know. We got to put just an inch more respect there. My only thing is I don't want to create this I don't know what to call it, like situation or platform where even if they win, it's like it's not that big of a deal. And then if they lose, it's like times 2 because his team was so great. Like the narrative I've been hearing, not from just this show, even from the bigger shows as well, is this is the greatest team Lamar has ever had. His team is better than the Chiefs. He bet not lose. If he's ever going to win, this is the year. This is his only chance to win. If he doesn't win, this is it. And then
Smitty, I got to ask you something, and you're just hearing my voice here as we watch Lamar navigate the pocket here with 2 guys right in his face wide open. Let me ask you something.
He ran past him. He's 4-yard line.
I mean, that's fine, but is it sustainable? Is he going to be able to win multiple Super Bowls doing this?
I mean,
let me ask you
the one first.
Okay, fine. Exactly.
Everybody
let me ask you this. Why, when we discuss quarterbacks like let me pull up my face here. When we talk about quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, Troy Aikman, guys that in the league at the time that threw up 50 touchdowns but lost, 45 touchdowns but lost, the most accurate passer of all time, but didn't throw enough passes. That's the narrative on Aikman. Why do those things get looked over until they actually win the Super Bowl? I'm just curious to your answer on that, because it's okay to talk that Stafford was shitty in Detroit, even though he threw 50 fucking touchdowns. He played like a goddamn warrior, but he was shitty because he never won. He goes to the Rams, and this motherfucker's already up there with Aaron Rodgers, according to a lot of people, myself included, because I said if he got out of Detroit earlier, he may have 3 Super Bowl wins. So why is that different than what Lamar's going through right now in my narrative? What is the fucking difference in those 2 narratives? I'm going to wait, because there is no difference, and it's how hypocritical we are on social media, period. Like 50 touchdowns in Detroit, and he was shitty. That was a fucking narrative, dog, being pushed. And I'm sitting there like, this motherfucker is one of the top 5 ball spinners I've ever seen in Detroit while he was in Detroit. He goes to the Rams, and I'm like, I'm not shocked he wins it. He had a fucking structured program, organization, and he goes in there and balls out and wins the Super Bowl. Why was he shitty, though, in Detroit when he was fucking unbelievable? Like, that is what I'm saying. It's the same shit, but I'm taking heat for saying Lamar hasn't won shit. Well, when he wins, oh, come on, talk about it. But he hasn't won yet. So how have I been wrong for 6 years? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. But now I'm the asshole. I'm the devil. People are retweeting videos and shit. Baltimore fanboys. It's unbelievable. Where have you guys been for 6 years? Like, where have all you gurus been? Like, I want to know, Twitter Nation, where have you been for 6 years when I've been talking? You guys are in my thread. You're not posting your own. Just let's be clear. You're commenting on my shit. You're not dropping your nuts and posting your own shit. That's the difference between fanboys who know nothing, who have no resume, and a professional opinion who actually shows the film, breaks it down, etc. I make comments. I stand on them. I don't apologize. I drop my nuts and say certain things. And I stand by it. I don't delete tweets, motherfuckers. But y'all comment on my shit. I ain't never seen you drop your own tweet. I ain't never seen you say that the Chiefs are going to be 10-7. Well, they went 11-6, damn near 10-7. They won 13-12. My prediction was damn near right on, but nobody else has the balls to say shit like that and stand by it. Come on, man. Miss me with all your push narratives. It is what it is. We're going to show some film today, Smitty. Matt will be on. We haven't even got through to the show. And we can dive into it, Smitty, whenever we can talk about that. But there's a lot of discussions in both of these guys, and I'm just curious on
We just go so hard on Lamar. I guess that's my thing. I guess
when I talk about Mahomes, I go too hard on Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think you have Mahomes, you got Lamar. Those are two that we.
So when I broke down Derek Carr and Allen and Herbert, it just gets thrown under the rug.
Listen, we're not saying you've never criticized anybody else.
No, but I've actually had shows on those guys prior to you. But I've had shows on those guys and gone real hard on the motherfuckers. I've gone real hard on them. Sean Salisbury, dog. Sean Salisbury was even like, damn, JB. But I guess
at least since I've joined the show, can we at least be honest? And I'm cool with it. I'm just saying, like, can we be honest? At least as I joined, can we admit that we as a show, as a collective, we go harder on Mahomes and Lamar than we have on Burrow, Allen, Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, any of the quote-unquote top quarterbacks in today's game. We do go harder on those people. I think that's fair to say. I don't think it's like
because they're relevant, though. I think too. It's social media. It has social media relevance. They're relevant. Joe Burrow's hurt week 4. Aaron Rodgers was hurt week 1. We'd be talking about those two right now as well if they were in, which would probably be in the AFC playoff hunt or at least been knocked out last round. At least they would have been in the playoffs. But we're not talking about those two because they're out in playing. Another reason why this Raven team is nowhere near a top team without fucking going against a real quarterback. They haven't beat anybody. So it's relevance, in my opinion. Again, breaking down what have you done for me lately? That's what we talk about. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, to answer your question, I'm not going to avoid your question. We talk about those two more because they're relevant. Burrow's not playing. I mean, is that a lie?
What about Josh? Josh Allen just lost against the Chiefs again at the crib. We did not go hard against this motherfucker. If the Ravens lose this weekend, I know for a fact the thumbnail fucking Monday, Lamar loses again. Lamar chokes. We gonna spend an hour. Lamar. Josh Allen and the Bills lost. We talked about it, I think, but we ain't.
What do you mean? We had Mahomes holding him like a baby. We said Mahomes is his daddy.
Yeah, but it was quick. It was quick. We can go back and watch the show. I'm just saying, JB, why you listen? I'm your guy. We homies. Why you acting like we don't go harder on Lamar, man? Stop playing, JB. You know we do.
But Josh Allen, we just had on the thumbnail yesterday.
You right.
Did they not lose?
They lost. You good. It's all good. We good.
I go harder on Mahomes than any quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's the fact.
So Lamar just got into this discussion as I'm going hard on him. So now I'm racist because there's 2 black quarterbacks.
I ain't saying that.
I know. I'm saying I got to bring up a white quarterback in the discussion to say what? Like, oh, well, Herbert didn't make the fucking playoffs, homie. Herbert didn't make it. Joe Burrow didn't play. Aaron Rodgers didn't play. Where's the quarterbacks to talk about? We know who the quarterbacks of discussion are. Mahomes and Lamar. Like, you know and I know that is what drives traffic. Stop. Does it not?
It drives traffic, yes. Especially on our show. It definitely drives traffic. So it's all good, man.
Who are we supposed to have on there?
I'm just saying, Josh Allen, most of the world, including myself, when I think about the top quarterbacks, we go Mahomes, either Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, or Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Then we get to Lamar. So
see, I think people defend Mahomes and Lamar much harder than they defend Josh Allen and Burrow and those guys because it's a narrative we push. We want to bring race into it so hard. Not us, but people in the media want to bring race into shit so hard that I believe Lamar and Mahomes get defended on a bigger scale. I don't think they're brought up more. Ryan Clark just has been going ham on Josh Allen. It's all viral. But I haven't heard anybody call him racist. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, we gonna keep it real or what? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know where the racist part's coming. I definitely don't think I started the show saying you got mostly black homies and Mexican homies.
We fuck around. I'm just saying. I'm never worried about that shit. Please. What I'm saying is, like, why we can go with one person, call him this, and the other person, we call him that. It's only people that don't know him. They're all dick riders. I don't really give a fuck. But I'm just saying, this guy's on the biggest scale platform on ESPN and says it, and It's okay, I guess. I'm just saying we got to stop being hypocritical. This is why the show's the only one that talks about these hot topics with a white and a black host. And I don't think other cats will do it or have the balls to do it. And that's why I think this show's real. We have film to show. We break down the film, and you can all say, okay, this is what he is. This is why he is. I think Burrow, when healthy, is better than Mahomes. Period. I think he owns Mahomes head-to-head. I think he owns Josh Allen head-to-head. I think he owns Herbert head-to-head. Lamar owns Burrow.
He do. Owns him.
But Burrow went to a Super Bowl. So, to me, Lamar goes to a Super Bowl this year and wins. Who do you think I put ahead? I put Lamar because he won. But that doesn't mean I think he's a better quarterback. I just said he's better because he won. That's what we're basing this thing on. Like, if Marino would have won one, dog, he would be my number one. I'm just being honest.
I was going to ask you that. So
but he's not my number one, but he is top 5. We've already had this discussion because of his skill set,
right?
His total arm strength, his accuracy, everything that he did in the era that he did it in, getting hit in the fucking chin, in the face, in the mouth, wide receivers getting rerouted, having to throw under duress, all those things. He wore double knee braces because we know we could hit him low back then. All those things. Yes, he would be number one for me.
If he won.
Probably we could go down to 2, and then Elway would probably go down to 3. I love Montana. He did win. I don't think he had the skill set, but Montana's obviously in there because of 4. And Brady, of course, in the top 5, right? So all those guys in there for winning plus skill set. So that's how we've defined our greats over the course of 7 months on this show. We've said skill set, talent, arm talent, all those different things. But you got to win to be the dog. That's why I got Aikman. He's got 3. Like, a lot of people throw Bradshaw in there because he has 5. Like, Bradshaw won 5. Nobody talks about him.
He won 5?
Yeah. Or 4. What are you, 4, 5?
I thought he won 3.
No, he's got 4 or 5, I thought.
I don't know why I thought Bradshaw had 3. Either way, you got a lot of them.
See, Dr. Mendoza entered the chat. He was my principal when I was at Cabrillo. Of course we did. See, that's what I've been trying to say. That's why Allen's in the chat. Every quarterback I've ever had is Lamar Jackson. That's who I wanted. That's who I recruited. That's who played for me. A lot of you cats don't realize that. Bradshaw has 4. So a lot of you guys don't realize this is the NFL. There's a different discussion. Why would we talk about projection from college to the NFL? Do I change my narrative? Because this is the NFL, and I have not seen a Lamar Jackson type, quote, win a Super Bowl, meaning a guy that runs around, more athletic, freak of nature, who has won a Super Bowl. Not a black quarterback. I said a freak. Everybody brings up Steve Young.
Right.
Again, proving you don't know shit. You can't talk on my level. Steve Young threw how many touchdowns in the Super Bowl that he finally won? Please, I'll wait. Threw with his arm. He didn't run with his legs. When he ran with his legs, Smitty, he never won. He couldn't get over the hump. He was guy running around back there because he didn't understand the game and the coverage and leverage and everything else. He got stuck. He got fucking hurt. He never won a Super Bowl until he became a pocket guy that was athletic like a Mahomes. Ad lib, move around, throw the ball. He didn't win it till then. Russell Wilson won it how? Making throws, using his feet to make throws, to extend plays. He wasn't running around fucking running you over, running triple option.
You don't feel like Lamar is not doing more of that this year?
He is, because of the, like we've talked about.
Okay, cool. All right, bad.
Yeah, cool. Is. I've said it. Yep. I've got a tweet that said he fucking is much better from the pocket this year.
I seen him last week. He faked like he was going to run, drew the defense in, threw it over his head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, little shit like that.
Though.
Okay.
The people that say he's gotten better, and when I say no, he has not, I say that the offense in Monken has devised a system like Mahomes and Andy Reid that says, you know what? I'm forcing you to make these throws from the pocket because I want you to be better. And I believe he's gotten better for that. But his platform, mechanics, all those things have not increased at all. Just watch the film. But see, I tell the truth like this, and I'm a hater racist. He has not improved at all. I can show you last year's film, the year before's film, and this year's film. I have it right now. Do we want to look and compare mechanics?
You don't think he's improving decision making though, and just
maybe,
like
but
maturity,
again,
like leadership?
Again, I agree. He's Monken's. Hey, listen, all we can go by is results. Okay,
right?
He's thrown 24 touchdowns. You could argue it's good, it's average, it's bad, it's good, it's great. Whatever your argument is, I don't care. The decisions that he's making, that Monken is telling or devising in that system, is all we can judge. We can say Lamar's doing a great job in that offense, or we can say Monken's doing a great job teaching. Whatever you want to say, I don't care. The bottom line is he doesn't have astronomical stats. He is doing what he's supposed to do in the system. And if we break down Lamar from year one to now, he is actually gotten worse mechanically. And I've shown this. I've broke this down. Sean Salisbury and I have broken this down. He has actually gotten worse mechanically over the years. And Alan in the chat will sit here and send me IGs of him training in the summers in Miami with his trainer. And we're sitting there like, why is he only throwing 9 routes? Why is his elbow still dropping? Why is he doing these things? Why is he not standing in the pocket, elbow platform up, and we're throwing curls and digs and hitches and get better? But then he goes into the season, and guess what? It's the same mechanics. I've only used that against him for this one reason, because it's not sustainable to win a Super Bowl. I didn't come out and say, he's shitty, fuck that motherfucker, blah, 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 because he's not getting better. I want him to get better. I've reached out to Lamar. My friend, good friend, is coaching Lamar right now in T. Martin. I talk to T all the time. I'm fucking close with T. I've known T forever. From NFL Europe days, recruiting days. I said, T, dog, you gotta let me get this motherfucker one time. We reached out to Lamar. Never got a response. He has a quarterback guy in Miami who's fucking atrocious. It's a money grab homie thing. And I'm like, homie, I want you to be the fucking best ever. Alan will show you the text. Alan will tell you he's from Miami. They know each other. I reached out in good faith to say, dog, I could get your ass fucking right. But guess what? I'm the asshole hater. I'm just telling you, dog, his mechanics have gotten worse, homie. I'm not lying about it. Why would I lie about it? I would love to see the motherfucker win a Super Bowl. He has gotten worse.
And I can't argue that because you're the quarterback guy. I would never argue on that piece. My only question to that is, in the event that they win a Super Bowl this year, why does that even matter? Because you said the reason why you said you've mentioned that is because you said you don't think it's sustainable to win a Super Bowl. So if he counters that by winning the Super Bowl with bad mechanics, then that should tell you that maybe he's greater than his mechanics. Like his skill set is so fucking great that even though his mechanics are low, it trumps it. It doesn't even matter. That's my thing.
I'm never going to agree to that because he's already. The reason I'm saying that is because you know how I feel already. Because I'm not going to take it away from him if he wins. We've already established that. But I am going to still say that this is the most watered down I've ever seen the league. I don't believe he's had to play against those quarterbacks. All you're going to say to counter that is you got to win the games you play, blah, blah, blah. I agree. You do.
Because there's injuries that happen every fucking year.
And a Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. I'm not taking away. Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. I'm not taking away that the Super Bowl's asterisk, or I'm not going to be that bitch-ass cat that says, oh, he didn't win that Super Bowl. He's going to win a Super Bowl if he wins the Super Bowl. All I'm telling you is I don't believe that this is the Super Bowl that I'm going to look at and say, fuck, that was the most hard-fought run I've ever seen. No, I don't believe it is. I just think it's one of the easier runs. And I think for both him and Purdy, Brock Purdy, who's on this thumbnail, who I find very, very lucky to be in the game versus the Lions this week, in the same boat.
That's what I'm saying. The NFC has been kind of, I mean, I would say like easy, but easier than general because all the top teams that we thought would even have a chance at beating the Niners lost. The Cowboys got upset, looked horrible. Eagles got upset, looked horrible. So the Packers, who were like a 7th seed, moved on. That was like crazy. Then we had the Bucks in the next round. The Lions are good, but I don't think people thought they were Super Bowl ready. So the NFC, yeah. But on the AFC side, we just saw the Bills and the Chiefs face off. Like, that's an epic matchup. Now we're going to see the Chiefs and the Ravens face off. That's a serious matchup. And then if the Ravens win that, in my opinion, I think they're going to play the Niners, but we'll see. But he goes to plays the Chiefs and beat Mahomes, and then goes to Super Bowl and beat the Niners, who's loaded with people talent everywhere. That's watered down. Again, that's cool. I just think we agree to disagree. That's all I'm saying. That's cool.
So let me ask you, because we all know my dick would have been hard if I had Lamar Jackson in college. My good friend's going to come on the show who recruited and played for, and Lamar played for, Garrick McGee at Louisville. He'll be on the show next week. This is what I want to ask. And he coached AR5 as well and recruited both players by themselves.
I'm so excited about that too, man.
He'll tell you, he's on your side. He loves them both. He knows he loves both of them. He knows they're freaks. But he'll also tell you, as a quarterback guy, that I'm 1,000% correct in my fucking depiction. So
nobody's perfect.
So it ain't about perfect. It's just about facts and truth, and then bullshit, hypocritical lies, and that's just not what I do. And I'm not a yes man, and I don't fucking say, oh.
Hey, Matthew Stafford can't run. I mean, like, that's true. It's a fact. You know, it's cool.
Bottom line is, I want to make sure that if Purdy, which I think is pretty lucky to be fighting with Lions as it is on our thumbnail, because he got outplayed by Jordan Love, clearly. I thought the Green Bay Packers dominated the game from front to end. I just think the Niners being so front-loaded are going to be in any game they play. But if Purdy wins a Super Bowl, is he, because we know how the narratives get pushed, dog. And Ryan Clark right now is again anti-Josh Allen, anti-Brock Purdy. He's got guys so pissed off about him, and I haven't heard him be called a racist yet, but he's against the white quarterbacks, ironically. JB's against the blacks, I guess. Here's the thing. What is your take on Brock Purdy? And if he gets to a Super Bowl, revenges his loss versus the Ravens, and they beat the Ravens, for instance, let's say the Ravens, I think the Ravens are going to win. I hope they do now. There's no one I don't like more than the Chief fan Queendom. So what do you say then? Purdy wins a Super Bowl and beats Lamar. Is he going to be the next? Is he the greatest quarterback? You see what I'm saying, though? You know that's coming, right?
But we didn't call Joe Flacco that. We didn't call the first Ravens Super Bowl. It's been time. We didn't call Nick Foles
But Joe Flacco was a journeyman already.
We didn't call Nick Foles that. Like, it's been a lot of average quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl, and we didn't, like, fucking call them anything. I mean, Jimmy G was in the Super Bowl, was a play away from winning. Nobody was about to call Jimmy G anything like that. So, like, I would call Purdy a winner. Because you look at his record since he's been starting last 2 years, the motherfucker, he wins games. You got it. You can't take that away from him. But his skill set is his skill set. I mean, he's very average. He's very average. I don't think Purdy's a guy who can go to any franchise, any team right now and just uplift them and make them better. He needs the pieces around him. We know that for a fact. Even in the regular season, they won a 3-game losing streak when they lost Debo, and I think Trent Williams was out, and he looked average. Debo goes out last week. And the offense looked horrible until that last drive. So he's a guy who needs his weapons. He's a game manager, like you said, like Cam Newton said, which is fine.
Let's actually listen to what I said. A roster this talented and not have a big-time fucking quarterback. It just don't make sense. It's like putting fucking hubcaps on a goddamn Rolls Royce. Like, what sense does this shit make to anybody out here? Like, I'm trying to figure out how you put hubcaps on a fucking Rolls Royce. Like, guess who should be pissed? The Rolls Royce, the maker of the Rolls Royce, the owner of the Rolls Royce, the people sitting in the Rolls Royce. Guess who that is if you want to equate it? That's Christian McCaffrey for being traded to come over there. That's Trent Williams for being one of the best tackles, just basically getting wasted. That's for the best, maybe the best linebacking core in football. That's maybe for a guy named Ayuk, Debo, and Kittles, maybe 1, 2, 3 in their respective positions of all the NFL. That's maybe for one of the best safeties in football right now, coming downhill and blowing people up. They should all be pissed off, right?
That's a top 10 JB take of all time right there. You got to repost that. If the Niners lose, we got to repost that and repurpose it because that's an all-time
Good
take.
morning, Matt. I just think that Matt's come on the show and said this before too. Like, we all know, like, people say Purdy's this guy, and Matt and I have been on here saying, listen, we know who Purdy is. If Purdy was in any other team in football, we know he's a game manager. He's already a game manager. I just don't get why people think that this guy is not hubcaps on a Rolls Royce. Like, if they don't win, is my point to this conversation, Matt, you're jumping in. If they don't win, I blame one person and one person only. That's Shanahan, of course, because I think he's a hype. Lynch, again, for not getting a quarterback. But then on the social media guru side, they're saying, oh, well, do you know how the cap works? Do you know that he's the lowest paid quarterback for a reason? That's why their talented roster exists? Really? So Kansas City can do it. The Rams did it 2 years ago. The Bucks did it with Brady, but now the Niners can't do it. It's a fucking impossibility. That's what you're telling me, right, gurus? No, you can't do it. And they could have got a quarterback by now. But no, we don't have it. So they have to win, in my opinion, for all this shit to come to full circle and say, all right, now we got to go do something else with quarterback. Because I'm just saying, Shanahan's either going to shit or get out the pot this year because there's no excuses no more.
So they're in 3 straight NFC title games. And good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
And, you know, look, I read an article the other day. I don't know how much truth is to it, but that they went after Tom Brady hard and he just didn't want to play. And, you know, that they told Purdy he would be the backup if Tom came in, obviously. Now, I've been on this show, like, shit, it seems like the beginning of the year. It was last year when they lost in the NFC title game to Philly, saying that the reason that they will come up short is because of their lack of, like, I'm not going to say consistency, because the one thing they've done is be consistent with bringing in, you know, Toyota Corolla quarterbacks when they've got Maybachs and Lamborghinis all over the field. And let's just be real. So when I'm not saying Brock Purdy can't play. I am saying he's the ultimate game manager. There's nothing wrong with that. And if they win, then more power to you, Brock. But, bro, I would be shocked if they win and he's the MVP. And he's a guy that can – look, Brock Purdy is Bubby Brister. All right? Now, you may not know who Bubby Brister is, Smitty, but Bubby Brister was the backup in Denver and his starter in Pittsburgh forever, wore number 6. Good old boy from Louisiana. And Bubby's the man. I'm not sitting here talking shit about Bubby. He's the fucking man. He should have took over for Elway instead of Greasy when Greasy took over for Elway when John retired. That was older Shanahan's first mistake with managing quarterbacks. And then he replaced Plummer with Cutler. There's his second. And then he did the same thing in Washington when, you know, RG3 and Cousins and all that shit. So the Shanahans always have had this problem with quarterbacks and not being able to identify which one they should play. Mike just adopted a first ballot Hall of Famer in John Elway, so he didn't have to make that decision. But after he got rid of him, he struggled trying to find the figurehead in Denver. Well, Kyle has struggled trying to find the figurehead in San Francisco since he got the job. And Garoppolo wasn't good enough, and they traded for Trey Lance, and then they bring in Purdy, and he just happens to hit and fit the mold. Like the gurus on Twitter, which is just a special place, talking about the salary cap. Like, every big time team has a big time dollar quarterback, and Brock Purdy is going to be in that boat in about 15 minutes. So we're not going to be able to use that excuse anymore. So I think that I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this weekend based on how they played on Saturday. They were really rusty. The Baltimore Ravens were rusty too, but they knocked it off in the second half and beat that dog shit out of Houston. And I understand that Green Bay is probably a better team than Houston, maybe, I think. But San Francisco struggled again in the playoffs. So Detroit has nothing to lose. And in my opinion, you know, Jared Goff they have nothing to lose, but he has something to prove because he's a number 1 overall pick going against Mr. Irrelevant. So, you know, if you can't lose this game if you're Jared Goff, regardless of the discrepancy in the roster, which I don't think is as big as everybody thinks is. Like, I think that you can match player for player, and San Francisco's guys might be a little bit better, but Detroit's guys aren't slouches. Decker and Williams. Williams is obviously the best left tackle in football. Decker's a top 5 tackle in football and has been there forever. You look at the right tackle. I'll take Penny Sewell, whoever's playing right tackle for the Niners. Yeah. You look at the pass rushers, Boa and Hutchinson, pretty much the same guy, both making plays. You know, like they've got the advantage in the secondary and at the linebacker level. But when you look at the running backs, McCaffrey's a stud, but Gibbs and Montgomery together are also 2 studs that combine into one great back.
Yeah.
And then when you start looking at the receiving cores and the tight ends, Kittle, great player from Iowa. Laporta, great player from Iowa. Like they are very, very.
I'm in Ross St. Brown, of course. Like
Ross St. Brown, stud receiver, and then you've got and then you've got Jameson Williams, and then you look at San Francisco, they've got Debo, stud receiver who can do pretty much everything, and then they've got
Ayuk. Yep.
Ayuk and Jameson Williams are both long strider, lanky guys. So,
to your point, though, Matt, to the quarterback thing, back to the quarterback thing. We talk about why I talk about Shanahan, to your point, and what he has done with Lynch is let's just go back. People in the chat are defending the losses the Niners have. That's an excuse. Like, quit defending losses. What you're making our point. Go back and look at the QBs that this loaded roster has had over the last 4 seasons and show me how they haven't had hubcaps on a fucking Rolls Royce. So Jimmy G is a big-time fucking stud QB. No, he's a winner because, again, so is Purdy. If you find the common denominator, it's maybe the 49ers roster wins games for their quarterback who's average. Like, when you figure that out, people.
Smitty brought this up, but when their main guys are out, when Debo leaves, the offense, it looks like the 20th ranked offense in football or worse. When Trent Williams didn't play for 3 games, they couldn't move the ball to save their life. And I understand that's the attrition of the NFL. I get it. But at some point in this run, you need to lean on your quarterback to help you win. You're going to have to lean. And I understand that he took him down the field in the last moment last week to win the game. That's great. That is fantastic. And I applaud you. But when I'm looking at these 2 games this weekend on Sunday, San Francisco's got the 4th out of 4 quarterbacks. You would take the other 3 guys over him, period. Anybody who says they wouldn't take Goff over Purdy is stupid. Goff in that system in San Francisco would make them even better. So I truly believe that, look, Purdy goes and wins the Super Bowl and wins Super Bowl MVP and throws for 350 and 3 tutties and beats Mahomes or Lamar. I'll shut up real quick. All right. And okay, bro, now you're on the Montana Young trail and we'll see what kind of player you are.
Does this guy not listen to what we just said, Matt?
Yeah, and that's not true. Purdy was drafted onto that roster that was already complete. He's not the reason that they have the roster they have, moron.
These guys are fucking idiots. I'm going to tell you right now.
All those guys were there when Purdy got there. They didn't go sign Debo.
These fucking clowns on social media are fucking.
In fact, I'm pretty sure they gave Debo and George Kittle max contracts after Purdy or before Purdy was even drafted. So
that Kansas City could pay Mahomes $500 million, even though we know how the cap works and where they move the money around. But
that's the thing.
Still understand
has the money to pay a quarterback. So my question to Shanahan and Lynch after this year's playoff debacle, because they're either going to lose this week or they will lose in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to take Brock Purdy over Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. I'm not doing it, especially when I've seen Patrick do what he does, which is just Superman shit in the playoffs, and then Baltimore, the last time they played San Francisco on Christmas, a national televised ass whipping, just a fucking beatdown. So I think that after this does end up happening, I think they have to go correct it with Kirk Cousins or somebody like that. They have to. You have to go find someone that can run the system and actually deliver the football when you're in a contentious spot. It's not surprising that in Shanahan's tenure with all of these mid quarterbacks, they have no comebacks until last week. They were 0-30, down 3 in the 4th quarter, down 3, not even a touchdown, 3. So when you're 0-30, down 3 in the 4th quarter, I understand it happened one time, that one fucking time that they pulled the rabbit out of the hat and Purdy took them down and they won the game. But I mean, come on, dog.
But man, I'm crazy and a hater when I say Shanahan's a hype.
I don't think Kyle's hype. I think he's a good coach. But
he's a good coach. But I don't think he's done anything we haven't seen.
He hasn't done anything we haven't seen. That's for damn sure.
I agree with that period, yeah.
You got to go win the Super Bowl this year to get some of the heat off of him, because eventually, just like you just said, it's going to go, okay, Purdy's the problem, and now Kyle's the problem, and let's cut bait.
Yeah.
All right, and moving on real quick, the NFL, the Chargers have basically come down to brass tacks with Harbaugh. The contract negotiation, from what I hear, has been agreed upon. However, the personnel agreement is what the holdup is. Having said that, which I predicted he would be the next coach for the Chargers months ago, hopefully it comes to fruition so I can get one of these things right. Since this has happened, because I'm getting killed on social media because everything's wrong. Urban Meyer didn't go to Ohio State, you liar. So now Pete Carroll's in the mix, Big Matt. Pete Carroll is keeping up with the Chargers. The poll question we did not ask because Smitty's not a great co-host and doesn't remind me of things.
My fault.
We don't do any meetings and anything. We just do the show ad lib. Matt comes on. We just talk about whatever. We throw shit at the wall, see if it sticks. And that's why this show is the greatest on planet Earth. This is what I have to ask the poll question out there. Please drop it in the chat below. Follow 0 to 60 podcast on YouTube. Who's a better fit for the Chargers? Jim Harbaugh or Super Bowl winning and national championship coach Pete Carroll?
I don't do this.
Pete Carroll's a better fit. I think Pete's a better fit than Jim.
Really?
It's his hood, bro.
You might be right, man.
Pete runs Southern California, dog. He is Southern California, homie. I know
The
Harbaugh.
guy, all that.
He only played for the Chargers, but that's Midwestern Jim right there. That's khakis and fucking, come and go. We're talking about in and out and fucking surfboards with Pete. So,
but he did, like you said, he did take the Niners to the Super Bowl, though.
Look, I'm not saying.
I know it's the Bay, but
I'm not saying he couldn't do the job. I'm saying for the Chargers,
that's tough.
For the Chargers, I think that Pete Carroll would be a better fit for the fucking Chargers, for the laid back slapdick. Chargers are going to Chargers, and that could be a nice retirement for him. I think Jim still wants to win Super Bowls. I think Pete would go in and be exuberant and really, have a ton of energy. And I think the LA market, I don't really think they give a shit. So they're not really hard on the coaches. They were hard on Staley because it was just easy. It's easy pickings on Staley because he's so stupid and he makes such dumb mistakes. It's impossible not to look at him and be like, what the fuck are you doing? But with Carroll would probably just go in there and they could turn it around and win some football games. I think he'd be a good fit. I don't really think there's a wrong answer, though. I think Harbaugh would be awesome there, too. But, again, it's the Chargers, so everybody has to, temper this, bro.
I love statements. I love people that make statements that are wrong. Harbaugh's a Cali guy, too. No, he's not. He's not even fucking close to a Cali guy. Shut the fuck up and stop making statements. He's from Toledo, Ohio. The whole family's from fucking Ohio. It's a little bit further away than Cali. So let me just break this down.
Just a couple hours.
Smitty, I got to ask you, Smitty, go ahead. Who do you like and why?
I hate to be on the fence here, but I kind of agree with Matt's one of his final statements saying that you really can't go wrong with either one. If I have to pick one, which I'm on this show, so I got to pick one. I'm gonna pick Harbaugh really because he's younger. I think you got more time with him. I know he's a guy who brings the best out of his QBs. Also, he's a good balance of bringing the best out of the QB, but also having a strong defenses as well. When you look at obviously Michigan, one of the best defenses in college football. You look back at the Niners during his run, one of the top defenses as well. I just think Harbaugh will be the best overall fit. But again, I think Pete Carroll would be great as well. I just don't know how much longer Pete Carroll would coach. Is it 2 more years, 3 more years? And maybe that doesn't matter. If Pete Carroll goes there for 2-3 years, comes to an AFC championship or God forbid, a Super Bowl, it wouldn't even matter. But I think long-term, Harbaugh's a little bit better fit.
I'm torn, but here's the thing. I would love to see Pete just because I'm a Pete guy back in Cali. I would go to a lot of practices. I'd be around that team. I guarantee you. That's cool. But I got to be real and honest. I don't know if it's not college. It's not Snoop Dogg at practice getting guys amped up and recruits coming to practice. This isn't that. And I don't know if Harbaugh's not the best coach for Justin Herbert, who we all know is uber talented but is underdelivered. And I think Harbaugh's the guy to get a guy like that over the hump. I agree. I could see Pete Carroll taking that loaded roster on defense on paper, Matt and I will say, on paper, fuck, they're loaded. but we haven't got anything out of that defense. They've underperformed as well. Pete will get that defense, I believe, a lot better. But then who does he hire? I have no doubt that he'll hire a great offensive coordinator for Herbert. But I like the Harbaugh factor. I think he's on a roll. He's hot, younger. It's a tough one, man. But I would go with Harbaugh saying that I think he's so hungry to win that Super Bowl that has avoided him by losing to his brother, that he would get him back there, especially with a team that's already roster ready. I just don't know. I think Pete,
I would love to see Jim in the same division as his brother.
Oh my! I just think about that.
Me too. I thought he would be in Cleveland by now.
Oh, bro, can you imagine if Jim was in Cleveland and John was in fucking Baltimore?
Imagine those family dinners, Matt.
I'm just saying, they're Ohio guy. That family's an Ohio family. Fucking going back to Cleveland, Baltimore.
Who's got it better than us? Fuck.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro.
All right, let's transition to some.
You boys, stop it now. The mama
because in LA, when they say who's got it better than us, everyone can look at them and go, the Rams.
Yeah. Let's transition to college real quick. Quarterback, the Will Rogers kid from Mississippi State transferred to Washington to follow DeBoer. DeBoer takes the Alabama job. Then he got his moving papers, got a moving truck, moved all the way to Seattle, and then he goes, fuck, you're going back to where I just came from, to Alabama. I got to move all the way back to Alabama. Hopefully his shit was still in Mississippi, a border state. But having said that, he's decided to exit the portal, Matt, and stay at UW. Did he figure out that Alabama's still Alabama and I can't play there? Or what is he saying here?
Oh man, I don't fucking know. I look, this is this is why they need to figure out like the schedule. It will just solve all these problems. You can't transfer after this date. Coaches can only get hired between these dates. Like that, the lack of consistency here is just, well, I guess that's wrong. They are consistent. They're consistently terrible.
Yeah. Like
the NCAA, the transfer portal, NIL, good God in heaven, it is just awful. Awful. I mean, I got a letter from the NCAA asking if I followed the team out of the tunnel during a game this year. I'm like, well, my kid was a recruit. I'm like, first, and then second of all, who is this again? Wrong number, Nick. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? I don't need to talk to you. So it's I don't know the answer to these questions, bro. I don't understand I'm in the portal, I'm out of the portal. I'm in the portal, I'm out of the portal. I'm in the portal. Hey, I'm going to transfer. I'm not going to transfer. Like, it is just the fucking runaround has got to be exhausting for the coaches. And there's a reason why Nick Saban left. And I don't really think it's just because he's burned out from coaching. I think he would coach until his deathbed. He's a great coach. I think he hates where college football's at, hates it.
I want to say I know, but I'm not.
Well, I'm not going to say 100%.
Well, allegedly, we know.
I'll say 99% like guess that we're all right, that he hates this shit. And I'm going off of veteran coaches all around the country that I talk to constantly. I mean, at my facility on the phone that are like burned out from this shit, that don't want to do it anymore because not like they have to recruit the kid. And then it's like you come to 6-0, you sign up for the year because that's the way it works in my place. You pay one flat fee. I kind of know all your recruiting and all your training and come as much as you want for the year. It's a really great deal if the kid maximizes it, right? This is like me signing up a client and the next day having to have the consult again with the parents to convince them to stay in the program that they already signed up for 24 hours later. And that is insanity to me. And I don't know how they fix this problem, but they better figure it out quick because this isn't good for the players. It's not good for the coaches. It's damn sure not good for the programs. And I just don't know. I don't know the answer to it anymore. I guess we'll just see what they do. But this kid's not a bad football player, but this back and forth shit makes him look like he's really indecisive. And that's not what you want at the quarterback position. And it's not even his fault. He's just in the situation. He went to Washington from Mississippi State, thinking after the season, no less, mind that, thinking that his coach was going to be the coach there. And then all of a sudden he's going back to Alabama and asking him to come with him. And then he realizes that the depth at Alabama is going to be too much and he can't play there. So he goes back to Washington, and now the coach at Arizona is the coach of Washington, and he's bringing his own guy from Arizona. But is he? Because the guys from Arizona decided to stay at Arizona after they went in the portal, but then they pulled out. Exactly, dog. And this is just one circumstance. It's just I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm going to say.
Say it.
But I really am over college football.
Ooh.
I'll watch some of the games and shit, but I used to really love it. And I used to like really, really, really care. And I could give a Tiffany fuck right now, bro. Like I am so burned out by all this shit and all the fucking drama and the people on social media like that didn't even go to the school that are just freaking out from Syracuse to Stanford. I mean, just all across the country. Everybody sucks. Nobody can play. Everybody's a bitch. And it's just, I'm over it, dude. Like, college football is losing its base, and I'm one of the base, and I'm over it. I'm totally fucking over it. I could give a shit. I'm not going to spend any more of my money going to see games with this. I'm not doing it. Like, I'll just watch it on TV and be a casual fan because that's what they're appeasing to, the casual idiot fans instead of their base. And I know that casual idiot fans in your chat are probably going to hate that, but I don't care. Like, I'm over. I can't do this shit anymore.
Let's stay on the West Coast, man, in college football. San Jose State hired a good friend of mine, USO extraordinaire, Ken Naamolutu from Navy. What do you think about that hire? He just got hired full-time at UCLA with Chip Kelly. He was an analyst last year. Now he is here at San Jose. You like that hire on the West Coast? Are they getting under center and running triple? What are they going to do? Because if he does, the West Coast is in trouble. Let me tell you.
Well, look, I do know that San Jose State has a stipulation with recruiting because I've tried to place guys there so many times where like 80% of their roster or some shit has to be from the state of California. So that hurts them. Yeah, that's from a
well, it's a financial aid issue, and it's a bunch of little issues. Yeah,
some standard that like they have to recruit California heavy, and that's fine. That's fine. But look, San Jose State, they are a team in the Mountain West that's up, down. They won the conference during COVID, and I can't remember the name of that coach when he was there. Who was the coach when he was there when they won it at COVID? I can't remember, but they've. That's where David felt. The white guy coach that won at San Jose during COVID.
Yeah, he's now he's a coordinator somewhere big.
He lost to Boise in the Mountain West title game, I think.
Not Brennan. He's gone.
But like, I'm pretty sure that's where David.
Guy, by the way, he used to be at University of San Diego. He's been around. You know what he is? You know where he is? No shit. He's a high school head coach now at St. Augustine in San Diego.
No shit. No.
I know the guy. He used to be a running back coach at UCLA years ago. He used to recruit our guys.
San Jose State to high school?
Nah, he left. Ron Carragher.
Did he? Okay, well.
Ron Carragher is his name.
I'm interested to see what happens with San Jose State in the Mountain West this year, moving into the Pac-12. Like I'm praying that instead of getting rid of the conference, okay, and because the Washington State, Oregon State, I got, the big tank, Gerard Lickenham, the tackle from CU is going to Oregon State. And then I've got a D-line commit, Jackson Cowgirl, who is going to Washington State. And I've talked to both of them about this. And they obviously been told they're going to be playing the Mountain West. It's in the Pac-2, and they're going to try and figure out how to merge the two together if it works. So this is a huge opportunity for San Jose State and Wyoming and Colorado State and Fresno and all these schools to go in there and make sure they don't both get beat by Washington State and Oregon State when they play them by 40. Like, that's all those Mountain West schools have got to go in there and perform. So the Pac-12 looks at it and goes, okay, we actually have got something we can cook with here. So, I think San Jose State's a good job. It's not a great job, but it's a good job, and I think they got the right guy.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to say the least. Big Smitty, we got to talk with You got to talk with two whites about a little NBA.
Okay.
You know, Matt and I can articulate some NBA shit now, Vic Smitty. You know, people be hating. They don't realize. I even could cross you over and hit a jumper over you, and you've already seen that at my court at my house. So having said that, the Milwaukee Bucks made an unprecedented move at having a 43-13 record by firing their head coach yesterday. I think I have receipts again saying that this would not work before the hire, before Dame Dillard went there. I told you that defense wins games and championships. But 43-13 is still a top 3 fucking record in the NBA. So why did they fire this guy, in your estimation, both of you? And then they hired Doc Rivers. I am very confused. It smells like straight motherfucking pussy. I just got to be real. And I'm trying to figure out. Doc Rivers was just calling the fucking Laker game yesterday.
I'm confused. I thought he worked for TNT.
He did. That's what I'm saying. He just called the Laker game, and now he is the head coach for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm trying to figure out, since the KG Paul Pierce championship, what this guy's done to deserve a head job. But before that, why did they fire this guy? Because, again, we're in the player empowerment era, jersey swap era. And according to reports from several outlets, the locker room didn't like him. And of course, the coach goes before the player. And now at 43-13, an unprecedented firing before the All-Star break. Give me your guys' take, whoever wants to go.
Go first.
I first of all, when I saw it, I was shocked. I was trying to think back of when this has happened before. I know the Cleveland Cavaliers, they had was it David Blatch or whatever. I think he got fired mid-season. They brought in T. Lue and ended up winning the championship. So that was the most recent example that I could think of where this has happened. But outside of that, it's very rare. But yeah, based upon all the reports, man, yeah, it sounds like it's not that they just don't like him like as a person. It's more so like on the basketball court, there was situations where late games he's not calling the right calls and he's not prepared. And it seemed like it was multiple cases where you're hearing like Bobby Portis is arguing with the coach at practice, and because just certain things just not making sense. And it really just sounds like Adrian Griffin was a guy who just wasn't prepared for this role. And you got to blame the Bucks hiring, staff or whatever, the higher upper management for hiring somebody who wasn't prepared, because obviously he wasn't. You fire somebody this soon within their tenure, that means you did a bad job of hiring this guy. I'm assuming they probably been talking to Doc Rivers for probably a couple weeks, maybe, building up to this. So, it's public to us now. It just happened to us, but I'm sure they've been behind the scenes doing their due diligence. But yeah, is Doc Rivers the answer? Like you said, JB, the man has one ring, and he had a loaded Celtics team. That KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Ray John Rondo, that team is one of the greatest talent teams to me of all time, and he only got one ring to account for it. And since then, he's had other great teams. He had Lob City with the Clippers. He's had Philly with Joel Embiid and James Harden. He's had so many great teams talent-wise, and has always fallen short. So what is it about Doc Rivers that tells the Bucks, that tells those players that this is the guy to get us over the hump?
Hey, Matt, before you go off on this one, I got to ask you, going back to the firing, though, before Doc Rivers discussion, like, they're the second seed. How do we say they're not prepared? They're 43-13. I'm trying to figure out how that's not a prepared team. Are we saying that the players are just doing it on their own, the coaches and shit? Because why'd you hire them then?
Well, look, the Milwaukee Bucks deserve this. And they deserve the failure that Doc Rivers will bring them. Okay. And he's a good coach. He's far from a great coach. I do not think he's going to be able to take that group over the hump. But you know who I think could? Mike Budenholzer. Like the guy who they just fired.
I agree.
Coach B,
who won it, you mean?
Coach B, who won a fucking title. Yeah, that guy. In Milwaukee. It's the first guy since Kareem. Yeah. That took them back to the playoffs, and Giannis was hurt, and they lost in the first round because Giannis was hurt. And because Giannis was hurt, apparently the head coach, who I'm sure I butchered his name, I apologize, but the head coach, Budenholtz, the head coach, apparently is the trainer too, so he gets fired for that because he's responsible for Giannis's lower back. So you take a guy who took you to the first title ever, or the first title since the fucking 70s, and you just fire him and you bring in new guy, and new guy doesn't work, and then you bring in Doc. Like, just ride with the guy that took you to the party, bro. What the fuck are we doing? So this is what Milwaukee gets. This is essentially like the Nuggets, which they would never do this. Like this year, God forbid Nikola Jokic gets hurt and he's out, and then they blame it on Malone. They're like, you're fired. And he's like, what the fuck? I just want to play ball. So, like, the one consistent with everybody that we look at in the NBA is if you win a title, you're probably getting fucking fired pretty soon. Lou won a title, got fired. Homeboy with
Toronto,
the Lakers,
dude in Toronto.
Wait, dude in Toronto, he's in Philly, and they're doing pretty good. He got fired. The dude in Milwaukee, fired. The Frank Vogel and with the Lakers, right? He won the bubble title with them, fired. So.
And took the Pacers to a final, didn't he?
They went to the Eastern Conference championship. Yeah.
So he pretty much knows what he's fucking doing. But guess what? Phoenix is rolling now again.
And even Phoenix went to the finals at a 68-win team or some shit. Fired. So.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. Like,
you don't understand. Like, if you win in the NBA, you get fired. The Lakers
don't win.
Weren't the Lakers trying to replace Ham?
They're still talking about it. I think.
Player empowerment, Matt. Player empowerment.
So, look, in basketball, player empowerment is even more at the forefront because those guys make so much money. There's only 12 of them. All of it's guaranteed. And if you want to be a turd in basketball, you can be a.
Look at Ben Simmons, Matt, just robbing and pillaging. He's over on the sideline and fucking.
He's such a terrible human being. He's not just a bad basketball player. He's a bad human.
You're robbing. You're stealing money, and
terrible
he's
human being, bro.
Legally stealing money.
I mean, do you guys remember the name Ricky Davis?
Hell yeah.
The guy who got the fucking rebound off the back or off the rim to get a triple double. His own, who turned around and missed a shot on his own fucking hoop and was like, I got a triple double. Like, Jesus Christ, Ricky.
They didn't count it all thing. I think they ended up taking
it. They didn't count it. They were like, fuck you. We're not giving you a triple double for that, bitch. No, but like Ricky Davis, this entire league now, not all of them, okay? Because my basketball team, the Denver Nuggets, the world champion Denver Nuggets, they don't act like this. But there's a lot of prima donna bitches in the league and a lot of Ricky Davises. There's just a lot of stat fillers and not a lot of seat fillers. Facts, bro. Like, there's a lot of stat fillers. There are not a lot of seat fillers in today's NBA.
That's a bar. What do you think JB's saying right now? You have to guess.
Put my feet above my head and call me daddy. That's what he's probably saying.
He said, you think I'm afraid to be tied up and slapped around?
I need handcuffs and jelly.
You think I'm scared to be handcuffed and tied up, motherfucker?
And while I'm doing it, I'm going to say that Patrick Mahomes is a bitch, a straight bitch, and he can't play, bitch.
And Lamar Jackson mechanics have gotten worse every fucking year.
You trying to mimic what I was saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, AE, if you're not here by 2 p.m. Pacific, bitch, I'm calling your sister.
She'll do a better job anyway.
Exactly. She got a technique down to nothing. She'll be tickling or anything.
All right, let's stay on some hot takes with Big Matt. We got you for about 9 minutes before we take a break. We got an hour left of the show after that. Follow Matt on 0 to 60 pod every day, 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific. Let me ask you this real quick. There was a podcast with a former player, Jennings, who says that Justin Fields should be a Niner if Purdy again bust. Can we play it?
He's a good quarterback.
He's a great quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
That doesn't have a Super Bowl or MVP.
Is he a difference maker? No, he is not. I'm going to tell you why this is out there.
Go.
Because prior to Brock Purdy, who was their quarterback? Jimmy Garoppolo. What did he do? The same thing.
He lit it up.
And now what is he doing? Sitting on the bench and not even doing that right now. He's watching the games like us. So for me, when you look at a guy like Jared Goff, he's kind of in that same category. Until he wins, until he proves that you've won because of him, then that's going to be the narrative. I don't believe it has anything to do with where he was drafted, him being Mr. Irrelevant, all those things. What it has to do with what we've seen prior to him coming into that position. We've seen the same things with this 49ers team with different quarterbacks. We've seen it with Jimmy Garoppolo when everybody was talking about, oh, all he does is win.
This looks like a bunch of homies, like just.
Shout out to the car show. Shout out to Fox Sports. Shout out to my brother Greg Jennings. That's my dog, man. That's my real one.
You shoot for that show?
I don't know, but I know the person who does. Greg Jennings is my dog. Got him locked in.
Hey, that look like the homies just at the house in the cigar lounge, like motherfucker. Shit. Like,
it's like us right now.
His face, man.
Yeah, was he a difference maker? Absolutely not. And if you were a 49er fan, and if you are a 49er fan,
Who's the dude look like he just got out of 9-6 Impala right damn now?
How funny is
it? Look like Sugar Free. Hey, so look.
I forgot his name. Yeah.
Motherfucker look like Sugar Free. So look, I gotta ask you. That's our discussion. That's our debate right there on this show we just were talking about. We just talked about Jimmy G. We talked about all these quarterbacks being hubcaps on the damn Lamborghini. This is what he's saying. I don't think that's the answer. I think you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Justin has done nothing to show me that he can go in there and win either. So I'm trying to figure out, this is the narrative that gets pushed. So why am I wrong, Smitty, when I say, and I'm not asking you, but the narrative is I'm a fucking horrible human because I said Purdy is hubcaps on a Lamborghini. Aren't they saying the same thing?
I think that you would look. Obviously, Fields is more athletic than Purdy. And obviously, Purdy is a better pocket player than Fields. I think if you put Purdy on Chicago, they would be 7-11, like they were, or whatever their record was.
Right,
and I think if you put San Francisco or you put Fields on San Francisco, they'd be 12-5, 13-4, just like they are right now. And they'd probably be bitching and complaining that Fields doesn't fit Shanahan's system right, and he runs too much, and he won't stand in the pocket and throw. So, look, there is no way to appease everybody. And, like, the speculation on what they coulda, woulda, or shoulda done, we're only going off of history here, and the history is simple. Chicago has never had a 4,000-yard passer, and their best quarterback ever is Eric Kramer or Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon, because they won a Super Bowl. After that, it's Eric Kramer and Harbaugh. That ain't good. And then when you look at San Francisco, they notoriously have had the best quarterback in football, even from Montana to from Steve DeBerg to Joe Montana to Steve Young. I remember how dominant Jeff Garcia was for 5 or 6 years and how good he was. You know, like Colin Kaepernick when he was at the top of his game before he went cuckoo. Alex Smith played at a high level there. Garoppolo played at a high enough level to get him to the Super Bowl. Purdy's playing at a high level. But superstars is what wins you Super Bowls. Like, I don't know if San Francisco has the same kind of defense that like the 2000 Ravens had or the 02 Bucks where Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer can win Super Bowls. Like, I think you need that guy that's going to make plays for you. And I'm not saying he won't, but I need to see it more than once. I need to see it more than one time. I mean, I guess this is my question. Dak Prescott has had multiple fourth quarter comebacks and has been doing this a long time and can't get over the hump. And he's not regarding very highly right now. People are not happy with Dak. Well, why doesn't he get any of the leverage or any of the rope here, like when we're talking about development and things of that nature? I know he's been playing for 8 years, but at the same time, when you're looking at Purdy, it's not, he gets a ton of like, well, he's the roster's supporting him and he's a lot better than you think he is. Is that just because he's not paid? Like the minute he gets paid, is he now going to be like exempt from excuses? Because it seems to me like the guys who make money in the NFL, everybody's got, a finger pointed at them saying they're not doing enough. And the guys who don't make any money in the NFL, and there's not a whole lot of quarterbacks that are in that boat right now, but there's a couple, they're being looked at as, they're the best thing since sliced bread, and they're the reason the team is winning. I just don't believe that. I don't know I think Sam Darnold could probably do the same thing Brock Purdy's doing in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's a hell of a point. That's a hell of a point, man. I mean, I guess you get more money is more expectations. Duh, obviously we get that, but at the same time, just because you don't make money, don't mean expectations should just be fucking at the ground level. If you're the guy, if you're the starter for that team, and you're supposed to be the leader, and we have a Super Bowl roster, well, goddamn it, you need to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, my thing is like they go out and say Jimmy Garoppolo is not good enough to lead us, and they replace Jimmy with nobody. Like if they look, man, there's a huge, possibility that the Mr. Irrelevant doesn't pan out. Let's just be real.
Huge.
Like Brock Purdy panning out is way luckier than a first round quarterback panning out. Like that's some look. This could end up being some Tom Brady shit if he does it right. Like Brady went 199 in the 6th round. That's a lot of luck. Just finding him, he goes to the right spot. Mo Lewis happens to kill Drew Bledsoe on Sunday Night Football, and then all of a sudden Drew Brees, all of a sudden Tom Brady is playing at a high level, and all of a sudden he's getting an opportunity. Well, Purdy, I'm not saying he walked into it; he earned the opportunity. He beat some guys out. At the same time, though, it's not like they looked at him at Mr. Irrelevant and said that's the fucking guy that's going to bring in and change our franchise. If that's the way they looked at him, and they would have picked him in the 1st or 2nd round.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, everybody passed on him. The Niners passed on him 7 times or 6 times. So,
and listen, we all know, Matt. We all know it's all where you go. We've seen great quarterbacks that we probably will never call great because of where they went. Like we don't know how good some of these guys could have been because they got just swallowed up by shitty organizations, and we never got to see them.
Jake Plummer is a perfect example of this. Friend of mine, lives in Denver, great guy, and he went to Arizona and did everything humanly possible for a terrible fucking franchise. And then the minute he got into a good situation in Denver, he's all pro and taken to the AFC title game. And in 2005, that Bronco team should have won the Super Bowl. Like they just shit on themselves in the AFC title game against Pittsburgh, but they're better than Seattle. They were better than Pittsburgh. They just didn't play well that day. So that's a perfect example of like a guy who was in a bad situation that walked into a great one. I mean, look at Kirk Cousins. He was in a bad situation in Washington. I don't know if he walked into a great one in Minnesota, but he made him competitive. So,
but to your Purdy deal, back to the point of what we're making. This is my point, though. Like, how do we know that they don't have a guy right there that can take them over the hump if Purdy don't? Because I truly have come on this show, and I have receipts. Smitty and I had this debate. Sam Darnold, to me, fits that roster better than Brock Purdy. He's more athletic. He's got a stronger arm. He can make every throw. But we have yet to see him thrive in an organization that is conducive for winning. He's been in horrible organization after horrible organization. He's had 4 head coaches, 6 coordinators, and we shit on him continuously. But when he has played this year with that roster, he looks like, oh, fuck. Then everyone starts to come out and say, damn, Sam Darnold looks good. Guess what? He is fucking good, and he's never had a fucking team around him. But I think you don't need to do anything. I think you have a guy right there that is better than their option right now, who everybody gives a pass to Matt's point. This guy Purdy gets more fucking passes than a goddamn attendance hall motherfucker in high school. Like, I'm just telling you, he gets more. There's more excuses for this motherfucker than a goddamn attendance office. Like, we make more excuses for this motherfucker. And you can talk about me all you want about I hate on this guy and hate on that guy. I've been on Purdy's ass from gate, but nobody talks about that. Stop giving this motherfucker excuses. He is hubcaps. And I don't understand why Cam Newton took so much fucking heat. Because he's just spitting the truth. Like, this guy is a bus rider. And when you see Ayuk, Debo, and CMC exit the game, usually cream rises to the top, and guys carry teams from the quarterback position who handle the ball 100% of the game. he don't rise to the fucking cream, don't rise to the top. He actually sinks like quicksand. So that tells me there's a difference between a bus rider and a bus driver. I think Sam Darnold deserves a shot before we make these hasty decisions to go out and get some other fucking guy.
Well, so do you think that if they lose the NFC title game or the Super Bowl because of him, they'll replace him?
Yeah, because why would you pay him?
You have to. You can't pay him because that's the next question. Are we going to pay this guy who just didn't deliver and just go on the potential thing? So, I mean, Baker Mayfield's another one of these cats that, just where it matters where you go. He went to Cleveland.
Very interesting segue because Weddle and I discussed this segue right here yesterday with Smitty. Like, do you pay Baker $40 million next year? I don't. Weddle don't. Because we've seen the movie, we've seen the story. We love Baker's grit and nasty, great. We love all that shit he brings. He had a good year and all that. But do you pay him $40 million, or do you go out and find another guy that you could pay minimally, which we've seen this year, and win games? Like, I don't know if you pay that guy $40 million because you got Mike Evans aging, who has to either re-up or get out, and he's a free agent. You have some defensive holes. You have some other receiving holes. You got some O-line issues. Your D-line is aging. I don't know if you can sign Baker Mayfield. And I said that name emphasized for a reason. Baker Mayfield to a $40 million contract. I just don't know if you could do it.
Well, I think that he'd be smart to take $20 million.
Yeah, me too. And I think that's a great payday for him.
Go to the Broncos or go somewhere for, stay in Tampa for 2 years, $20 million a year, and prove it again. And now prove that you can do it consistently. And then that team will break you the fuck off. But look, like Baker's been in shit organizations. Let's be real. I mean, he went to LA for 3 weeks. And then other than that, he was in Cleveland and the fucking Panthers before they got Tepper. So before they got all the money. So let's be real. That's what Jerry Richardson's racist ass down there in Carolina. So like that guy's sitting there like all white guys on the team. They had to get rid of him quick. So
he loved a race draft we were doing a few weeks ago.
He was at home like fucking trying to figure out how to get on a fantasy team right there. So I just this entire situation, again, it comes back to another conversation we had Monday of the overpayment of quarterbacks. And that number is going to keep going up, and this is going to continue to be an issue. The cap's going to go up too. I get it, but there's a massive discrepancy between guys making $50 million a year and guys making 500 G's, especially when the guy making $50 million can't play. And I'm only going off the circumstance here in Denver that we've seen the last 2 years. It's a bad look. It's a bad set for your franchise.
Hey, thanks to my boy Chad, we got some updated film here. I got all scenarios for the Super Bowl. I wanted to take 5 minutes before you get out of here to break down a few scenarios. I have all the film from the games that were played this year. Kansas City playing Detroit week 1. We know that was week 1, but there is film from coaches like Matt and I who can sit there and say, okay, these are the things that need to change if they match up again. I also have Baltimore versus the Niners, which is a game they won by 14. We have that rematch scenario. I also have Baltimore versus Detroit, where Baltimore beat them by 32 points.
Killed them.
I have that scenario if they were to rematch and play. And I also have a KC 49er game from when Andy Reid went into Mike Shanahan's den and dominated them last year. So I got to ask you before we show some film, in breaking news, Green Bay Packerland, if you're a Green Bay fan out there, they have fired their defensive coordinator just now. Interesting move. I thought their defense was starting to figure out some things late. I don't know if their defense lost the game versus the Niners more than it was a field goal kicker from going up 10 points and basically locking that game up. And we would be talking Green Bay, Detroit today. In a NFC North battle, which would be very crazy. Who would have picked that one? But that's where we are. So you shocked about Green Bay making a move, or is this just the nature of the beast, and this is the time frame where guys move around because of who's available?
No, I'm not shocked at all. They were going to fire him in the middle of the season, and they just didn't because LaFleur doesn't operate like that. So they lost. they decided to part ways and try and find somebody that can come in there and motivate the guys a little bit better. The turnover in the NFL is insane. I mean, if you talk about 35% roster turnover, I bet you it's 50% coaching staff turnover. You know, if you just looked at it, coaches move. This is what happens. There's going to be, you know, names out there, or maybe there's somebody on the staff that they want to elevate. So, look, Green Bay, it's hard for me to criticize what they do in Green Bay because very rarely does it not work. Whether it's a coach, whether it's a quarterback, whether it's free agency, and how, you know, like how they are definitely not frivolous. They are not out there just spending money. Like the way they do things, draft and develop, extend the guys they're supposed to, you know, put their quarterbacks in position to develop and then go out and see if they can play. Shit works. So if LaFleur wants to re-up the DC, I'm with it.
All right. Let's break down some film here real quick with Big Matt since we got him here. Let's pull it up. All right, so this Baltimore Frisco, we got I believe we got, let's see, Frisco on O, Matt. So we know Baltimore is a little bit odd with the stand-up, making it an even based on the 3 technique. We're in a 40 here, basically a little bit of an eagle front here. Even or nose guard, 3 technique, 5 technique, all to the wide side, to the strength of the formation, which we'll call it, even though it's a 2x2 set here, 10 personnel.
It was 3x1 middle move, so it went from an over to an under.
Yeah, and now we motion that way too, so they probably schematically schemed that to know that I'm going to stay in an over because I'm still 3x1.
Yeah.
And, you know, Purdy throws that out there. Listen, if these two teams were to rematch, and this was in Frisco, by the way, Baltimore dominated the game for the most part, we saw. What can Frisco do differently? Because this right here should be an easy pickup. It goes from
blitzer.
It goes from an over eagle front. I call it an eagle front over to a bear diamond.
Right there. Go back before Christian leaves, or right when he crosses 13. All right, stop. All right, look, they motion the fullback use check over. So this is 21 personnel, but they're in empty essentially when they put Christian out. So 21 personnel usually is like I formation, I king, I queen, fullback on the field. Well, 44 is over here. That's a fullback, dude. So Baltimore's matching personnel. That's why they've got 3 big linebackers on the field, because San Francisco's in 20-1 personnel, and Kittle's one of the receivers. Right now, though, when you get this look and all of a sudden the tight end is away from the 3 technique, you get what's called pirate blitzing, which is why this linebacker right here is walking to the line of scrimmage. Don Capers created the fucking zone blitz, and this is a pirate blitz. They've already got a backside linebacker on 44, so they pinch the 3 technique, they pinch the 5 technique, and they roll the dude over the top. And right now, this should be a really, really easy Roger call, the right tackle that we just talked about, right? Penny Sewell being a better player than whoever's playing right tackle for the Niners.
All right.
This needs to be a 4-man Roger from 65 all the way out. 68's got to go all the way out to the blitzer. 55 goes to the 5 technique. The center goes to the 3 technique. The guard goes to the 1. Trent Williams, the best player at this position in football, is locked rock one-on-one on the backside. The backside B gap is your squeeze gap. This is not fucking rocket science. This is some easy-ass shit. Easy as shit. And he makes the right throw and throwing it to McCaffrey. But don't get surprised if they do this same kind of shit and this backer that's blitzing on this zone look peels off with McCaffrey next time just to give Purdy a different look. It's called pitch peeling. So you can't miss on stuff like this, especially the first fucking snap of the game, guys. This is the first snap of the game. And they're screwing up what is 68 doing, bro?
Well, what is Purdy's eye? Why are Purdy's eyes to the left? And I'm just saying, because remember, for all the excuses we give this motherfucker, we better start saying, okay, can we get some
production?
Can we criticize a motherfucker when his eyes are over here and we got rotation like this and we don't understand that our eyes need to be to our back that's free releasing and zero protection? Like, I'm trying to figure out why he doesn't get, assassinated as much as he has excuses made, because his eyes should be to the right. The backer that's over the fullback, Matt, cannot blitz. There's nobody covering him.
Backing him, exactly.
So how does a quarterback in the NFL know that he cannot blitz? Why is Purdy worried about this guy? Is he thinking that this guy's going to pill? No.
Well, why is the line sliding left in the first place?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused on.
Like, why isn't this is my thing is I understand that centers are responsible for protections at times, but every good quarterback I've ever been around, the first thing I ask them is who's responsible for your protection? And if they say the offensive line, I know they can't play because the quarterback should say, well, I'm responsible for my protection. Like
now I could. The only argument I would have is a right-handed QB. I used to slide left and zero.
But they're not just full sliding left.
I know, I get it. Yeah. I'm saying I would set the protection left away from the QB's throwing hand if I was hot to his hand.
I'd rather have face pressure also, but 68 should be picking this up.
Yeah,
I wonder what the other two.
But again, to your point, Matt, it makes no sense to your point because his right hand is hot. So why is his eyes left?
I don't know.
That is just late. That is disaster.
Go back real quick. If they pick this up correctly, look at the top of the screen breaking right there.
Oh, I know. I'm going to go back to the wide here.
That's a touchdown, dog. Look at that.
Yeah, let's go to the wide here real quick.
That motherfucker's still running. I don't know if that's Ayuk or Debo, but so they move 44 over and they don't man coverage it. They bump it over in zone. And then it looks like Kittle and Debo are at the top of the screen.
They're straight locked.
Oh, that's Kittle.
Look at that big route.
Look at that. That's a fucking. If they just pick this up and he's not predetermined flipping his hips and throwing it to Christian, this is a scripted play, obviously, the first play of the game.
Right.
But at the same time, it shouldn't be predetermined. You have to read the defense. But 68 has to pick up the blitzer, too, because this is all null and void. Because we can't pick up a fucking Don Capers zone blitz.
Right.
That's day one shit right there, bro. It's terrible.
Now let's go over here to the Baltimore on offense. Shout out to DV Sport and giving us this great fucking film that nobody on planet Earth has. The Baltimore on offense now, what is the Niners? What are the Niners? What can the Niners do to slow down this running attack? The X factor of Lamar.
They always have 6 offensive linemen on the floor on the field because Patrick Ricard is 6'5", 310 pounds. He's their fullback.
Yeah,
fucking monster. So right now, if you go back to the beginning of this, Baltimore is giving you 21 personnel with the fullback on the field, but at the same time, when they do this, hit stop. All right, this is pistol I king. That's all this is. I king or I near. He's near the other tight end likely right here. So this is 21 personnel, and it's almost like they're creating the bunch to the boundary with the fullback. The Niners line up to this in an over G with the backside nose tackle on a 2-eye, and then they extend out the backside 5 technique here, and they run into this, obviously. You're going to get heavy deuces to Warner, a heavy ace to 57, or a heavy ace to 31, and you're going to get Ricard on 57 right off the bat. So it's just a difference in personnel. Baltimore's personnel is just ridiculously good.
Yeah, I call this pistol strong for the JUCO layman's terms. Real simple, pistol strong to the formation strength. The real simple verbiage for a JUCO, and I think you can use that at all levels. But anyway, I'm not very
pistol
smart.
Strong, pistol king, pistol near, all that shit's the same.
Yep. So
then they fan the front side and they don't go back real quick. And this is
why what this is, Matt. This is old school. We used to call it fan draw. And basically, let's set. You see the tackle. We're going to set the DN up the field, try to set his ass. This is old school fan, 21 personnel, fan lead draw.
Yeah, that's all it is. And they're trying to put likely on Warner. That ain't going to work.
Yeah, we see why. We see it.
You got to double team the 3 technique here, deuce heavy, and walk that fucking 3 technique up to 54, and maybe wrap likely back inside the lead block. But you can't expect him to go down there and opposite shoulder Fred Warner.
No doubt. Monken does a good job, man. Monken has a lot of Roman in him, but he's also more West Coast McVay, got some McVay in him as well. And he does a mixture of things, I believe, really good with Lamar. Here's a little slant flat combo to the weak side. We're going to read the guy on the line of scrimmage, which is an easy read for Lamar. He throws the ball right off that earlobe of the flat defender, which is the guy walked up on the line of scrimmage, taking the back. And that ball should be thrown right now already before the receiver breaks. And again, this is easy schematical things that Monken has created, in my opinion, that I still think give the Niners fits if they replay this game. So
now I know we've got 2 more days, but man, I don't see a world where Baltimore and Kansas City isn't like just an absolute barn burner, just war. Like, I think if San Francisco has the ability to kind of beat up Detroit, if Detroit's not ready for the moment, I think it could be a great game, because I know we're going to talk about it tomorrow and Friday. Which day do you guys want to come on my show? Friday? Cool. We'll do Friday.
Thursday. I actually think Thursday will work.
All right, we'll do
better.
it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. When we get done on this show, we'll do that show. But I think that both matchups are really competitive, but I think Baltimore and Kansas City has the potential to be like the new budding rivalry in the AFC. Because if finally Baltimore's living up to their end of the deal here and winning playoff games and putting themselves in position to play Kansas City. So I just can't wait for this weekend. It's going to be a hell of a championship Sunday.
Yeah, what a job. And in my opinion, I think Andy Reid's done the best job of his career. In my opinion, I think he's done his most masterful coaching job for being back in a 6th time in a row in the AFC. We can say the AFC West is what Tom had in the East when his run was relevant. But again, you're still there 6 times. It is what it is. I think he's done a hell of a job getting this roster that's not overloaded with outside talent for Mahomes to another title. And
are you complimenting Patrick Mahomes?
No, I'm complimenting Andy Reid.
That's what I had to make sure.
All right, Matt, we'll hit you up. We'll be on your show tomorrow.
All right, peace. Don't get it twisted now. He ain't
Big C. Don't get good. That's Andy Reid, the old white dude.
all right, Big Red. Not the brother, not the other.
Yeah, brother. Because the scroll. Let's break this cat down.
Okay. That's what's his name? That's that funny
that's
ass
the crackhead.
the weatherman dude talk crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't even see. We can't even talk to real people. Like,
if you don't have a picture, I'm not even going.
Yeah, we can't even talk to real people, dog. Like, give us a real person so we can bring you up. Oh, bitch ass.
Stand on business. You gonna talk?
All right, let's take a break. I got to piss like a Russian racehorse. We got a lot to discuss still left on the show. Mary Jane, if you're real, hit me up. I got AE vibes. We got
we wild, boy. We give a 5 in the morning. We talking about everything, boy.
everything.
Everything. I get that last hour. I be tired, bro.
I don't think cats can really do what we do. I don't think we can. Because Smitty ain't ready. He really not supposed to be up. He don't like to get up. He's younger. He not supposed to get up. I force him to get up. He can't go out to the bar. He got to get up still because he has to match what I do when I get flat tire.
That was a tough night. That was a tough night for your boy. I had 2 hours of sleep.
Show, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done this show without any sleep whatsoever in Vegas. We've all witnessed that. I've jumped into pools at 9, 8 in the morning in Palm Springs. We've done a lot for this, man. I'm just telling you, we've done a lot for this show. So I just got age restricted on TikTok live. I don't know why, what that even means.
Cussing and stuff like that. Kids can't hear that. The thing about it, man, we do all this for the show. We can't even get 800 likes.
We can't even get mid-mobile burner phones to be purchased.
We got people moving in the chat, going to different houses in different states. They can't even use AQMS.
We got cats betting, talking about DraftKings, but guess what? Bet online is better. Anyway.
And then we got other people making picks. They can't even use prize picks. We got freaks in the chat, homegirls. They don't want to even AE.
They don't even want to watch Smitty's fucking little show on YouTube.
Ain't no
5-minute acting guild going on. Shit, I don't know. I don't get it.
Ain't nobody here about none of my gear from LFT. Ain't none of these people subscribe to the porch. They ain't watched the short film. They ain't bought tickets to the Hoops and Icons Players Ball event, basketball event happening on Valentine's Day. Y'all ain't bought JB's book in a long time. I don't know what's going on. We ain't getting no super chat really like that. Shout out to Joe Cord, but ain't nobody else doing it. The ladies don't come here no more. I don't know what happened or what we did, Jay, but they don't love us no more, JB.
We got Fafa Usos in the chat. Not Josh, of course, but some Fafas came in last week and were talking shit. And I don't get it, man. What's happening to the world? I don't get it, man. Fafas and polys don't mix. I don't get it. I don't like that combination. Damn, Uso's supposed to be hard, big man, and gangsters. We got Fafas in the motherfucker. I don't understand what's happening, man. I don't get it. The world is changing. Let me just tell you. Social media keyboard cowards are winning.
They are.
I'm not going to let them win, but they're winning, and they get away with saying shit without having to get in the face. So, you know what I'm saying?
It is. That's what it is.
Take a piss break. We got a lot to discuss still. We'll come back with about 30 minutes on this docket, and we got Stephon Diggs news. We got Major League Baseball Hall of Fame news. We got some more Doc Rivers discussion. Plus, Riverboat Ron maybe in playing or coaching with Baker Mayfield in Tampa. And Raheem Mostert not very happy about his Pro Bowl snub. And Raiders hiring a GM that has already failed in multiple cities. We're going to break that down. Plus, Chiefs fans found dead?
That's crazy.
We're going to dive into that as well. Pound the like. Go get some avocado toast. And take a shit. Smitty will be back later, and I'll be back first, of course. And we'll be back on, and I'm sure I'll be on for 2-3 minutes before Smitty gets back, and we'll be talking about whatever I talk about. Maybe I'll cuss out TikTok some more. Much love, Mary Jane. Hit me up, man. Let me see what you're working with over there. Let's see what's happening over there. Bailey, take us away. I mean, this is horrible, horrible, horrible. Like, you're getting trapped down here. Real simple coverage, what they do at college level. We're going to trap you to the field here. And he throws right to the trap corner. I'm not going to knock Hurts here, but the offensive schematics, he's sprinting out on a naked off a zone read look, Matt. Let me ask you something, Matt. On a zone read look, who the fuck is throwing this route across the formation against the grain of the cube?
No one.
So why aren't you giving him a third level concept?
And look at the effort by him too. They know he's not getting
horrible. It's fucking horrible.
And this is bad, bro. And then look at the receiver too. He's not breaking off his route. He's turning outside to the sideline rather than turning inside to the quarterback. Right now, the ball should be going to Devontae Smith on a stop route on an inside fucking like hot adjustment immediately. If he's going to sink on the flat route like this, you've got to throw the second level part. Anything.
But Matt, you got to have some separation. So what? This guy can't play both, right?
Nope, can't do both.
And this guy is playing both.
But Jalen is predetermined, coach. You know this. He's not reading anything. Everything he's doing is a predetermined destination. They tell him who to throw the ball to. And then he does it. He says, okay, I'm throwing the ball to A.J. Brown this play. I'm throwing the ball to Devontae Smith this play. Instead of manipulating the defense with his eyes and with the movement and with the motion, they use motion to get guys open rather than using motion to identify what the defense is doing. And in turn, getting guys open. Like, if you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say that, you're a mental cripple. Like, people use motion and formation variation to figure out if you're in man or zone, to figure out how you're going to play certain things. This look right here, go back, coach, to the beginning of it.
Matt, this is some of the most elementary garbage.
Stop right there. Stop. All right, now this right here is I would say this is an under front when you're looking at it from a run game perspective. It's an over front when you're looking at it from a pass game perspective. However you want to call it, it's called. But think about it like this. They do this, and they're going Ray to 0, okay? So that's a 3-man slide to 0 if you go back to the back end. and then they commit 7 guys, all right? And they when they do that, the right side right here should be kicking all the way 52, bam, 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 out. And then the left guard, left tackle are both rock one-on-one on the 2 down linemen. So hit play real quick.
They won plus the protection. This should have been.
I understand, but Jalen Hurts should be moving his back over, or they should be full turning this. Like there's ways to adjust this and pick it up. 50, and the other thing is that's space pressure. If they do want to roll with this like this, that's fine. But now Jalen, throw the ball now. The ball needs to go out. You see that fucking hole where 52 leaves and Devontae Smith could win outside and then go back inside? That's where they need to throw the ball. Wherever they blitz from, that's where we need to attack.
Right there.
Right there. Exactly. Instead of running outside, let's hot route that motherfucker inside, side adjust this bitch and roll. And the fact that Jalen doesn't have any like
Jalen didn't see this, Matt. Like you can clear, he didn't know he was blitzing.
Walk up and go easy, 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 easy. Hey, Devontae or fucking Fishhook or whatever. Whatever your nonverbal communication is to 6 here, watch how much this opens up right here. Outside in, he might score a touchdown. Hit play.
Big man. Let's go. Let me play devil's advocate and defend Jalen Hurts here. I think Jalen Hurts is being horribly coached and managed in the NFL for this reason. Number one, look at the route combination by these 2 on the right side here. And I want you to tell me, Matt, what in the world is this and this?
This, man, just throughout your career, people always say the safety is like the quarterback of the defense. I got to ask you, who was the toughest quarterback that you face week to week? You know what I'm saying? In terms of just like, all right, or each year, I know when I play against this guy, I got to be like 125% locked in because it's going to be a mental battle between myself and this quarterback. Who you say that guy is?
Yeah. So Peyton was the funnest, the most challenging, and made defenses evolve, right? Like I came in, we beat them in the playoffs 07, 08.
Yeah. Of course, I'm back first. Smitty gone. Smitty left the whole thing. Let's get it going here. Let's see where we at. Get back on TikTok. Tom Telesco, who just failed miserably in Los Angeles with the Chargers, has been hired as the new GM for the Raiders. I think AP and him have some history. That's why I'm pretty sure. My bad. TikTok. I think that he has failed in a few different places, and I just don't get why we recycle so many recyclable dudes in this business, but that's what we do. We are unwilling to give a new guy an opportunity in this league because we are so scared what the ramifications will be for going outside the box and hire somebody new. It just happens every day. It happens in coaching, happens in GM, ADs in college, athletic directors, everywhere it happens. So not surprised in the move at all. But I wish I was hoping AP could get somebody new. That's just what I was hoping. But it is what it is. Pound that like button, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Smitty and I, when he gets back, we're going to break down the latest draft mock-up by, of course, the one and only your favorite, ESPN's favorite, Mel Kiper. We're going to break down his first round draft. And we're going to see what you guys think about that, especially at the quarterback position. And then Raheem Mostert, not happy about his Pro Bowl snub. We're going to dive into that as well. He is not very happy. People are going to podcasts now and starting to really air out their thoughts on getting snubbed. And Stephon Diggs says he wants to be in Buffalo. I'm calling bullshit. And if you look at the stats, look at who had more yards over the last 10 games. Khalil Shakir, Boise State, Khalil Shakir, 462 yards to Stephon Diggs, 422. And the targets were tripled almost in favor of Stephon Diggs. But he said he isn't expected to ask for a trade. Isn't expected to. He's under contract, so the Buffalo Bills have a very, very, very shitty roster with shitty dead money. Their money is dying on that roster. From Von Miller to Stephon Diggs to a bunch of guys on defense who are always injured. That roster has a lot of fixing to do. And I think it starts with Sean McDermott. And I think Rex Ryan called out Bill Belichick as being the only hope Buffalo has to winning a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. I truly believe that is the answer. I truly want to see Bill go to an AFC East team like Buffalo. I want to see it more than I want to see. As much as I want to see Pete Carroll go back to USC, even at 71 years old, I would say Pete Carroll will win before Lincoln Riley. Because he figures shit out. What great coaches do, figure shit out. Pete Carroll will figure it out. I believe he would figure it out in LA with the Chargers. I believe Pete Carroll would figure it out. But I wouldn't, Smitty, I want to see Belichick go to the Bills as much as I want to see Pete go to SC.
Damn. Is that serious, huh? But don't you think that Belichick could almost tarnish his legacy even more if he goes to Buffalo and he still don't win? Imagine that.
Not thinking about that. He's going to be the all-time winning. It would be a slap in the face to a guy that he may look at and say, you didn't let me trade Mac Jones. You didn't let me bring in Flacco. You didn't let me do things that we're hearing rumors about. To win and be the all-time winningest coach in football on the Bills roster, maybe against New England when you do it. Like the odds are there. Like you imagine him getting that 15th win in New England.
Man. That would be crazy. That would definitely be crazy if it happened that way. So, I mean, I kind of want to see it just for the storylines as a guy who, who's podcaster, host, who's in this industry from a story standpoint. It'd be great for our show and for our narratives, good or bad. If he goes up there and balls out,
we're not podcast.
Show, podcast, whatever. He go out there and he ball out, and they fuck around AFC Championship, win a title. We gonna be like, Bill Belichick is that guy. He didn't need Brady. He just needed a good quarterback. Yeah. Then if he goes up there, he lays an egg, and they perform even worse, even they did with Sean McDermott. They get knocked down the wild card or the divisional round. Then we can be like, damn, has he been overrated this entire time? And his whole career was defined by Tom Brady. Like, those would be the storylines and narratives that would get thrown out. So I want to see it just because of that part of it.
Yeah. Look. The script, everyone wants to say the script. The script is in. The NFL script is in. Blah, 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 right? Look, I want to know what you think about this scripting when it comes to Mahomes, Kelsey, Swift, the whole fucking thing that everybody always brings up, and especially when it comes to referee play. Statistically speaking, when we break down referees in the NFL that have refereed Mahomes games, there is script conspiracies out there that people miss tackles on Mahomes on purpose, and the Denver Bronco game a few weeks ago, you saw the DB come up to hit Mahomes for the first down, and then he don't even take him on. He don't even tackle him. He takes on the receiver, and it's a clip out there where it's like Mahomes is running for the first, and the motherfucker don't even try to tackle him. He goes straight to the wide receiver and takes him on. And I'm like, what the hell was that about? Now, there's football that I can bring up why he did it, but at the same time, it's like, is that
you always see it though, JB? Like people, every time Mahomes run, nobody wants to hit him.
I know, and then when he does get hit, he bitches and cries.
Yeah, but I ain't seen him get hit. Honestly, when he runs, it's been a while. I see him get like sacked physically, but when he actually takes off, I'm telling you, everybody's like, "Fuck!" Like, how do I? It's like they know he's the face of the league, and they don't want to do anything that's gonna mess up their pockets or get them suspended or whatever else. Like everyone's hesitant. It's crazy.
Yeah. Bailey, what happened to the clip I just saw? It was a referee picture in the chat. I don't see it anymore. There is a referee stat. Why I bring this up. The NFL is moving Sean Smith to the game this week. Why Sean Smith, who is the referee, is because the referee assignments for NFL conference championships have been released, and Sean Smith is the guy. And everyone's kind of pissed because when he refs games, the home wins an average of 55% of the time. When he does it, it's 40. And people are like, why is the NFL moving this ref to do a Mahomes game? Sean Smith is the guy that you see that the meme out there, the GIF where Mahomes and him are kissing.
Okay, that's him.
Because they always think this guy saves the Chiefs' queendom. Anyway, listen, I'm not into conspiracy, Smitty. I think it's too much shit going on. It's too difficult to throw a football game as a player. You need 11 to do it. I just think there's too many variables. I'm not a believer in the conspiracy of those things.
I'm starting to think you are a little bit, though, because we do be bringing the shit up now.
I ever have, for one reason, and one reason only.
You be real.
The NFL's biggest, we'll say booster for layman's terms, collective, is who? DraftKings. And I think gambling, more players are getting caught doing it. And we have more emphasis on gambling than we've ever seen before. The fan base, who are a bunch of fanboy fantasy drafters who think players are great because they earn them 40 draft points on their DraftKings or FanDuel. I'm starting to open my eyes that there's some things involved. There was a clip out there, Smitty, that I saw of a mobster, an Italian mobster, talking about he knows for a fact, 1,000%, and he has receipts apparently, that the NFL is fixed. And I'm like, so I watched this 10-minute video, and he's breaking down players, quarterbacks or influential players, and saying you don't need 11 players to pull a game. You need one, and that could be the quarterback, the kicker, and they're showing these plays that it looks like the kicker before the snap moves his foot where he normally wouldn't, and then the ball's hooked or sliced. And then it's like, Then you see a quarterback throw a pick when the guy's wide open, and there's no way he throws the pick, and he throws the pick. And I'm looking at it as a coach, and I'm like, that's a football play. He's saying that guys. He's saying that guys. Yeah, look at that. He's saying there's another one against Broncos that is worse than that. He's saying that guys owe money to mobsters. Let's say a quarterback, Dak Prescott, owes $10 million,
right?
Because he's bet for years. And the mobster goes, "Look, you don't got to pay me back, but what you do got to do is throw this pick six because I'm going to bet $20 million on it. And if you don't, and then Dak Prescott throws a pick six, this guy makes his money back, and then everything's good." Now, he said it, and I'm just like, listen.
It's at the longest yard, motherfucker. This ain't Adam Sandler.
There's a video out there. I could get it and show you. I don't believe it. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
What if? Like, at least you got to think. You got to think maybe. I don't know.
Man, it's too many. I know too many people in the league, though. That's the problem. If I just didn't know motherfuckers, then maybe I believe more. I know too many motherfuckers, and you do too.
Do you think your boys? Because I got 20 plus playing.
That's what I'm saying. You know people,
but you don't think that? You think they know what a guy's gambling debt is?
I'm saying.
Do you think the star quarterback is going to go in there and say, "I owe $10 million to the mob"?
Nah, I'm not gonna say that. But I'm saying the whole conspiracy thing in general.
Oh, like, I don't believe that. No,
motherfuckers gonna. I don't know. Motherfuckers talk. Motherfuckers gonna know. Like you would know a motherfucker coming there and they owe the mob. They're gonna be the energy gonna be different. Motherfucker losing weight,
I don't know, but
sick. All type of shit
I don't know if
going
you'll
on.
ever know a kicker owes the mob because remember, let's think about it. The kicker, because remember, this has happened, by the way, in the NBA.
You know.
So a kicker, very underdepreciated, very underpaid compared to other positions. Not going to have generational wealth when he's done. He could kick for 20 years and a voluntary kick for 20 fucking years. He ain't going to make the money that fucking Brock Purdy makes next year in 1 year.
Right.
Having said that, what makes him say not gamble and not say I'm gonna shank this motherfucking kick to make my money back? Like I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there, dog. I think the NFL is. Let me just put it this way: I think if it were to ever happen, the NFL is at its most vulnerable state right now because of the rules in the league, the social media access, the betting apps, and the betting. The strength of betting now in professional sports and college sports and sports in general is so easily accessible compared to what it used to be. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't be so like, let me ask you, would you just be fucking floored if they came out and found out that a motherfucking major cat was betting and fucking was throwing games? Just one dude. Nobody else knew about it. He was quiet. He was doing some shit like Donahue did in the NBA as a ref. Do you think, would you just be floored and shocked?
Wouldn't nothing surprise me, man. Nah, people, money talks. So I'm not saying I'd be floored or shocked or nothing like that. I mean, I can see a ref doing that. Like you said, we've already seen it. So of course I can see it. You know, it'd be different if it never happened ever in any sport. We've seen it happen. We know it. It's facts. It's validated. So I'm sure it could happen again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll see. We shall see. If the Ravens lose, I'm going to lean on that side this weekend. Put it like that. Ref fucking cheated. They switched the refs out. That's why Lamar lost. They ain't got nothing to do with him. His play is the referee. So I already got my excuse.
We showed it on this show. It's going to break loose. And we're going to be like, we were the first one to say it. Yeah. Let me ask you something. A guy that I said should have had MVP consideration. He had 20-plus touchdowns about 5 weeks ago. Raheem Mostert for Miami, who was a catalyst in that running in that backfield for Miami. He's come out on a podcast recently and said he feels snubbed as to why he did not make the Pro Bowl. Do you agree?
On my phone here, let me show you real quick. This is my screensaver. I put, all pro, right? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an all pro. That was important to me. And unfortunately I didn't get that. I don't understand why I didn't. I didn't even get second team all pro, which is mind boggling because I still had 21 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards rushing and over 1,100 yards, total. But yeah, we can talk about that another time.
He also missed an incentive from what I heard, $200,000 because he didn't get. And to me, it was like, I don't know. Was he snubbed? I thought he had better stats than 90% of the running backs in the AFC. He clearly does have better stats. He had more touchdowns than I think everybody but CMC. Is he just not a flashy enough kid? Like what? Why didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
What AFC backs do you just think of right now over Mostert that you say, oh, well, he had to be in there? Like, I don't see a lot. There's too many. We had injuries in Chubb that kind of forced Cleveland to do different things in the backfield. Derrick Henry wasn't the same Derrick Henry. Your guy was hurt for most of the year. He had to have surgery, came back. He wasn't a guy you're going to give consideration to. Breece Hall came back after an injury. He had hit and miss games on a bad team. Cook started to ball from week 10 on. I don't know if he had a better season than Mostert. I'm just thinking off the top of the head. I don't have anything in front of me on AFC backs that stick out to me.
Now he was arguing all pro right there, but are you saying he got snubbed Pro Bowl as well?
Najee Harris, I mean, he didn't start coming on until late when they had to make a move at quarterback. I'm trying to figure out what running back in the AFC that's really stuck out. Pierce in Texas and Houston didn't really do much this year. Then they got who they get? Montgomery or not Montgomery? Who they get? Texans got what's his name? Fuck, he used to be in Detroit, I think. Detroit. Not Detroit. In the AFC, Jacksonville. Etienne. He didn't. I don't know if Etienne. He balled. Crazy. I guess.
I think Derrick Henry still got over 1,000. Got over 1,000.
Pacheco, Jalen Warren was another back. I don't know if Mostert didn't get snubbed. I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, I mean he might have. I don't know. It's the All Pro and Pro Bowl stuff. At the end of the day, it's just tough because you only got X amount of people you can pick from. So there's Amon St. Brown or whatever. I think got quote unquote. You can say he got snubbed from the Pro Bowl as well. But at the same time, the people in front of him, I think, also deserve it. So it's like you only pick so many. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got 2 spots and 3 people had amazing seasons, Pro Bowl caliber seasons, somebody's gonna miss it out. So whether it's him, whether it's the CMC, whether it's whoever, someone's gonna miss out on it. That's just what it is. Maybe the argument is that it shouldn't have been him. And cool, I can't be mad you for that, but I think he's probably just salty because that incentive. He probably had a cool little bag in that contract, and he missing out on it. I'd be mad about that.
D. Jones, 1,000 yards versus 21 touchdowns, 1,000 yards versus 11 touchdowns. What's better stat? I'm asking. He has 11 more touchdowns than your guy. All right, Big Smitty, Mel Kiper. Love to hate him, hate to love him, whatever you wanted to say. ESPN draft analysis came out, and he's basically had a mock draft for the first round. Take a look at these, Smitty, and see what you like, don't like, who you moving around. Let's do a mock of our own here. I don't know. I don't see Caleb going to Chicago. I don't, because of the hire they just made. Eric Weddle in the house, E-Dub. Appreciate you, Ida. I need another white to come on the show and back up the racist show comments that I received from Big Smitty.
E-Dub, he likes the brothers though, so you might be, I don't know.
Yeah, but you grab cats from the chat, the Black brothers, and then you try to go at me, and then Lamar Jackson. Anyway,
I'm gonna get Lamar on the show. Watch, I'm gonna get Lamar on the show. I'm with the same energy.
I want to do his voice, but I don't want to do it. Give me I'm gonna get Lamar and Pat Queen on.
I want the same comment, the same energy.
I got a player on the Ravens, by the way.
I hear you.
Delshon Phillips played for me at Garden City. He's on the Ravens. So
my guy Willie Snead used to play there. He used to be his main receiver a couple years ago.
And my guy on there right now, though. He not used to.
My guy used to get. You ever seen Rush Hour when they both was going back and forth about, well, my daddy caught a bullet with his bear. Well, my daddy kicked your daddy ass all the way through Hong Kong. Hey, we're competing everything.
BFL. All right, who you doing? What are you doing here?
I mean, listen, man, I don't like Caleb at number 1 here. I'm getting mixed reviews about Chicago based on who they're interviewing and who they hired. I don't know what they're gonna do. I wouldn't pick Caleb Williams because I still believe in Justin Fields. I think he's shown me enough, so I would change that around. Feel like Caleb Williams should go to probably Washington. Might make a bit more sense. Got some new ownership. Got Magic Johnson back there pulling string. I think Caleb Williams could be that might be a better fit for him. I do like Drake May in New England. Marvin Harris in Arizona, boy. I think he would do well because I know you're not a fan of Lil Kyler, but Marvin Harris is a bad boy. That's a bad boy right there.
I skip ahead to JJ McCarthy to Seattle.
He'll go as a backup. He'll back up.
Yeah, that's fucking blasphemous.
That's cool for a couple of years though. Just back up for a couple of years, and then we'll see what happens.
I don't think JJ McCarthy can play dead in a fucking Western movie.
I do like Keon Coleman to Indy. He's a physical guy. Was at Michigan State, transferred to FSU, strong, good hands. Obviously, I want Marvin Harrison Jr., but that's not a reality. So,
if Brock Bowers goes to the Chargers,
oh my God, with Harbaugh,
who's the better coach though for that team? Pete Carroll or Jim Harbaugh? See what I'm saying, though? See, there's availabilities in this thing that cater to both coaches for being the better fit in L.A. with the Chargers. I just don't know if – because Pete Carroll, to me, would probably go after a defensive player. There's not one in the top 20 on this top board here for Mel Kiper. Not one defensive player.
Man.
And I think Pete Carroll's proven with taking guys that I've coached and Bruce Irvin in the first round, I think at number 9 for Seattle years ago. JUCO product here, played at West Virginia, was all Big Ten at the time. I don't think Pete Carroll will do some shit. He'll go get another guy at defense. He's done some hell of a job. He's done a hell of a job in Seattle with grabbing a D2 corner who was long, Richard Sherman-esque, a back that nobody thought was going to be good. And then even the Rashad Pennies of the world that was balling before he got hurt. Like, he's done some things with guys. He's a personnel guy, like myself. Pete Carroll's a personnel guy. I'm going to go find a diamond in the rough and go make it happen. I think he would do the same thing if he were the Chargers coach. I think Harbaugh takes Brock Bowers if he's there at 5. I would.
Brock Bowers, and I don't know. I'm sure Mike Williams probably going to have to go just because he keeps getting hurt. But you keep Keenan Allen. You got Brock Bowers. You still got Austin Eckler back there, Justin Herbert. The offense is looking crazy now. And the defense already has dogs. They just need the right system or motivation or defense.
I do like Jaden Daniels at number 2 to Washington. I think Jaden Daniels fits the Commander. Well, I don't know if he fits the Commanders because we don't know the coach is going to be. But if it is Ben Johnson, as assumed it will be, the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, I think that if Jaden Daniels is there, you make that happen if you are the new head coach in Washington and Ben Johnson. I think Jaden Daniels, to me, and personally, Jaden Daniels is the most, if JB's going to adhere and assimilate and agree that the NFL is changing, to Tank Johnson's point, and this is the new NFL. So now we need to have a guy run around back there and make shit happen. And that's what's going to win Super Bowls from here on out.
Yep.
Then you take Jaden Daniels. I think that's the best guy on the board. Over Caleb, over Drake May, over fucking any of these quarterbacks. I think he's the guy, because to the old quarterback system, Sam Hartman can't play in the new league, according to Smitty and Tank Johnson and guys like that, which they could be right. Because
I ain't say they couldn't play, motherfucker. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm agreeing with you, actually. I'm not even being a smart ass. I'm saying if this league is going to be what it is, and you can escape the pocket and run around like Mahomes and not get hit, why not?
Stop laughing.
Why not? Because fucking Hartman ain't doing that. So, I mean, Jaden Daniels the best guy on that board right there. Let's just be real. I don't see a guy.
Nah, because Caleb runs around. Caleb faster than motherfucker too.
He can, but I don't think he's even clearly the thrower or the passer Jaden is.
Hold on, say it again.
I think Caleb's more of a thrower than Jaden Daniels is a passer. I think Jaden's a better passer.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you said that like, okay.
The ball comes off way smoother. His release is he's longer. So Jaden's longer. He's got a release that can get through the line of scrimmage in the NFL. Caleb is going to be more like Kyler Murray, who's shorter in the pocket, running around and having to throw the ball upwards over linemen, where Jaden can stand in the pocket and look down and throw downward over linemen. There's a huge difference in the NFL. That is not changing. Unless we go get 5'10" linemen in the NFL, that is not going to change. Linemen are going to still be 6'8" in the NFL. And you're going to have Trent Williams all over the place. And if you ever see the Frisco Niners shake hands after a game, just go look at the difference in humans in the NFL than in college. Go look. When Trent Williams shakes hands after the game, he's sometimes smaller than a lot of guys out there. And Trent Williams, one of the biggest humans you will ever see. And he is smaller than linemen that he shakes hands with after games. That is the difference in the NFL. Quarterbacks still have to understand throwing lanes and have the ability to get your arm up and down instead of up, down, and up. looking up where you see a lot of batted balls by shorter guys who struggle in the league. And I believe you saw that with Bryce this year in Carolina. Bad O-line, gets pushed into the pocket. Now I can't throw over somebody because I'm not long enough. So guess what happens? Balls get batted, picked off. Bryce got better as the year went along, but I still think he struggles from the gods who touched him.
Let me ask you real quick, because we got 5 minutes left, just from my own education. So why is it that, what you just said was a very interesting point between Jane Daniels and Caleb Williams. So from your wisdom as a quarterback, why do so many people assume or think that Caleb Williams can be this like generational quarterback? Like what is it about him from a talent standpoint? Like knowing what you just said, knowing that he's smaller, he's not, his throwing motion not as natural as Jaden Williams. No, like everything you just said, why do people think this guy can still be like the next guy?
Who, Caleb?
Yeah, Caleb. Like
he won a Heisman. He won a Heisman, and he's at SC, he's Oklahoma. He's like, he's dynamic. We all know he's dynamic, but I think there's a lot of reasons. If we really want to get into it politically, I think there's reasons. He paints his nails, so he fits.
See, I'm speaking more like I'm trying to be serious, like actual football. Like for example, Kyler was a Heisman, and people thought he was going to be really good, but they weren't talking about Kyler like this. Like they're talking about Caleb, like so. Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence. There's been a few quarterbacks like over the last decade or two where they're like, nah, this is the next like Peyton. This is the next. They're talking like Caleb. They're saying Caleb's the next Mahomes. Like they're saying Drake May could be better than him, but like it's not the same energy with some of these other guys.
We do that with somebody every year, though. I think.
You think so?
I think we do that with somebody every year. I think we did it with Trevor Lawrence.
No. So Trevor, Andrew Luck.
We've done it with a lot of guys. I think. Here's the thing, Bailey. Before we leave, 2 minutes left. We got a guy. There's a video out there of a former GM, I think, with Minnesota or somebody that. Damn it, EW, you still in here? Who was it that said that Caleb he would take? They were asking. Have you seen the video? It went viral. They were asking this former GM of the NFL, who would you take? And they go Andrew Luck, Caleb, and then they go Dak, Caleb, and they go Lamar, Caleb, and they said Mahomes, Caleb, and this motherfucker took Caleb, I think, for everybody except for Luck.
Damn.
Like he took Caleb over Josh Allen, he took Caleb over Justin Herbert, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like
I think it was Rick Spillman.
Yeah, I don't feel like it'd be that same energy with every single year. There's a few select guys where like, no, this guy's generational. Like he's different. Like he's the, you know what I'm saying? Like even this past year, like people thought they're like, you know what, Bryce Young's going to accurate, really good. CJ Stroud has potential, but they weren't having that same energy with this draft class. These motherfuckers are saying this Caleb Williams, he's a mixture between Mahomes as a thrower and Kyler with speed, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, is he a robot? Is he a transformer? Who is this cat? Like, they're talking about this guy is Brady right now.
Yeah, I think we've seen it before.
Like, what am I missing?
I just don't know if. Look, we've been hyping him for so long, is what I think you're just seeing a continuation of, though. I think this year just is hyping up the last 2 years he's been hyped. Like he's been hyped at Oklahoma when he took over in a game for. What's his name that transferred out, and then he came to SC, won the Heisman.
Yeah.
So he was even accelerated in the hype, and then now it's draft time, and he said, "I want part ownership, and I want my daddy to." All this shit has created.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how is he even like? You got to be fucking amazing, like beyond to even fathom the thought that I deserve ownership before I even take a snap in the NFL. So that's what I'm saying. Like that shit is what I hear you. Maybe that's just what it is. I just feel like maybe like I don't understand the game as much as I thought I did. And again, he can make any throw on the field. I went to the Utah game. This motherfucker threw a pass on the sideline that I was like, this dude has got a cannon when he really lets that thing go. But at the same time, I saw him lose a lot of bad games, a lot of big games, Every big game he was in, he lost. So I just don't see what it is. Hey, man, pound that like button, man. It's 9 o'clock. I got to go. I got a business call. Make sure y'all pull up to the Players Ball Hoops and Icons event real quick before we jump off. Drop the link in the comments real quick. If you're going to be in Indiana, Valentine's Day, February 14th, man, Bring your date, bring your homie, bring your friends, man. We need everybody in the Midwest to pull up. Butler University, Eagle Fieldhouse. We bringing out all the stars. We got Justin Jefferson pulling up. We got T.O. pulling up. We got Keith Lee pulling up. We got me pulling up. Sheldon Day, David Bell. The list goes on and on. Pull up the Hoops and Icons event. Get your ticket right now. And hit that like button, y'all.
Hey, man, shout out, though. Shout out, R.I.P. to the Hey, baby, we'll do it tomorrow. Let's do that tomorrow on T-Rich Thursday. We'll talk about Caleb Williams, who he compares to in the NFL. Shout out to the dog, man, the real dogs of the world. And I'm talking about a dog. R.I.P., man, to the most iconic mascot in college football. The Georgia Bulldog has passed away, man. And so that is, let's just be honest, that's the most loyal fan Georgia's ever had and ever will be. Shout out to the dogs of the world and the Georgia Bulldog for passing away. He gave us some great, great moments and memories. The dogs in the chat, pound the like if you're a dog. And shout out Big Smitty. It is Work Boot Wednesday. Tomorrow we're back. T-Rich Thursday. Steve Kim, Trent Richardson. We got a loaded lineup. Big Matt, maybe a special guest. I got somebody I'm talking to. Maybe I'm going to get on here. Look,
Hey, man, I'll be cracking myself up. People in the chat crazy, man.
What they say?
It ain't nothing. The dog is just not. It's all.
Hey, we've been so packed all week. I'm gonna be honest with you. We've had shitload of WPS, white people shit. We've had some black people shit.
I like that. Stack it up for the end of the week, though. I like that for Thursday.
We got real talk, jacket. We got shit saved up. We got some hell yeah, hell no. We didn't get to do shit today. I'm just gonna be honest. Like
it was a good show. I was just
can we do one white person shit?
Fuck. I got one. I hope everybody's okay. I hope everybody's okay.
I don't give a fuck if they're not okay. That's what we got to stop doing. Don't do dumb shit and then give them a pass. Do dumb shit. That's what you fucking get. That's white people shit 101. Hey, man. Hey, Hector, I don't know when Smitty's going to bring on a guest. Like, I don't know. He brought Sheldon Day on. He brought
I brought Jonathan Newsome. I brought Sheldon Day. I brought TJ Hushmanzada. That's my biggest star. That's one of the biggest stars we've ever had on here. I brought on hella stars on this show. Hella star. Lisa Ann. Y'all didn't like it, but I brought Lisa Ann. I brought so many stars on this fucking show.
Lisa Ann got booed off this motherfucker. All right, man. It's been great. Love everybody. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. We'll be back tomorrow, God permitting, right here, 21 hours from today. Pound the like. We got a loaded lineup tomorrow as we get closer to breaking down the NFL weekend playoffs, especially Friday with Jeff Nadu, and all things leading to a Ravens, Niners, Lions, Chiefs. Where are we at? What y'all think? We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
We switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We what the games we missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.